The following is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Warhawks. We are Oklahoma.
The 119th season of Oklahoma football kicks off today. A program rich in tradition of great coaches, great players, and 7 national titles to go along with 44 conference titles. Tonight, the Sooners begin the road to their 12th 10-win season under Bob Stoops. Welcome to Norman, Oklahoma for the start of the college football season. Tonight's Sooner broadcast is presented by your Oklahoma Ford dealers. There's a reason why Ford is the best in Oklahoma. Stop by your Ford dealer and drive one. As we welcome you inside the Gaylord family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium, where tonight the Sooners open up against the Warhawks of Louisiana, Monroe. Hello again, everybody. Along with Dave Lapham, I'm Ron Thulin. It is good to finally get this thing going.
Yes, it
and
is.
What a Big 12 season we are expecting. Dave, you and I have been doing this a long time. This is probably the most wide-open Big 12 season we've seen.
There's no doubt, Ron, and people have questions about Oklahoma. Quarterback play. Trevor Knight, opening act tonight. How will he play? Defensively, lost their swagger a little bit last season. Gave up 41 or more points in 3 of their last 4 football games. Will they rebound tonight?
Oh, we're going to find out. Let's talk about the players because both teams have quarterbacks that are similar. Trevor Knight, as Dave mentioned, and Colton Browning of Louisiana Monroe. Both are dual-threat quarterbacks, but the big difference is that Trevor's starting game number 1. Colton Browning's a 4-year starter.
And that is a big difference, but I'll tell you, Trevor Knight, he is a dynamic athlete. This kid is just an explosive runner, and boy, does he have an accurate arm throwing the football. The thing about him, though, you know Louisiana Monroe is going to try to confuse him, and they're going to make a lot of changes out there, disguise things. He can't chase ghosts. His key word tonight is trust. He has to trust Josh Heupel will put him in good situations. He has to trust his reads and his instincts, and he has to trust his teammates will execute. On the flip side of it, I'll tell you what, Colton Browning, this is his 37th start. He's seen everything. This guy reminds me, he's a bigger version of Kellen Moore, the former star at Boise State, that left-handed accurate thrower. And this guy, he handles a hostile environment because he plays with maturity. He plays with composure. He plays with confidence. And that's why he hung 34 points on Arkansas and 31 points on Auburn on the road last season, Ron.
And he's going to put pressure on this Oklahoma defense.
He really will. And it's going to start in the secondary. I mean, when he's throwing that ball down the football field, Aaron Colvin is everything you want in the cornerback position. Bob Stoops says he's the best that he's ever had, and he's going to be basically the cornerstone of the back end for Mike Stoops. Corey Nelson, he has to be a leader. He has to be a catalyst for this defense to be what they want to be, and they want to be a whole heck of a lot better than they were last year down the stretch, Ron.
Nice little 100-degree night for football tonight, but Bob Stoops, he's 4-0 in the month of August, 13-1 in home openers. The last time he lost one, 2005 to TCU. We'll step aside on the other side of the ring. We will start the 2013 season of Oklahoma football. Oklahoma Sooner football is brought to you by your Oklahoma Ford dealers. Don't miss the Ford Summer Spectacular featuring blockbuster deals. Now playing at your local Oklahoma Ford dealer. By Chesapeake Energy, leading a responsible energy future. And by WinStar, a whole new world of luxury. Capacity crowd on hand. We welcome you back to Norman, Oklahoma. The third member of our broadcast team, Chad McKee, and he is standing by with head coach Bob Stoops.
Thanks, guys. Coach, first career start at quarterback for Trevor Knight tonight. What do you want to see out of your redshirt freshman?
Just poise, execute our offense, take what's there, don't force the issue. And I believe he can do that.
ULM is an opponent that's been into environments very rowdy, and they've beaten some teams in the past. What concerns you most about the Warhawks?
Well, they're a good football team. Todd Berry, they're coached really well. The opening game a year ago, they went into Arkansas and beat Arkansas. So had Auburn down to the wire, and tight game with Baylor. That was their first 3 games a year ago. So they're used to this environment.
Coach, thank you.
All right, thanks.
Ron, Dave, back to you.
All right, thanks, Chad. We'll be checking in with you throughout the season. We take a look at Todd Berry, the head coach of Louisiana Monroe in his 4th year. He's a native of Miami, Oklahoma. played for the University of Tulsa. He was a quarterback. First time he came here to OU, he tripped running out on the field.
No, he was recruited by OU, and I'll tell you that he was a pretty good option quarterback to be recruited by Oklahoma back in the years of Barry Switzer.
And it's a good look at Bob Stoops in his 15th season, 8 wins away from tying Coach Switzer as the all-time winningest coach in Oklahoma history. That's Justin Manton. He'll be kicking it off. The Sooners won the toss and will receive. Clay and Finch set to receive it, and this will be about 9 yards deep in the end zone. And Finch is just going to take a knee. The Sooners will begin 1st and 10 of their own 20. Trevor Knight, Ronald Reagan High School in San Antonio. He passed for 2,000 yards, 27 touchdowns, just 3 interceptions. First freshman to start a season opener since Sam Bradford, Dave.
And I'll tell you, Ron, this kid, he's got the jackhammer feet. There's no question about that. And he has that powerful, strong throwing arm. He can create and extend plays, and he buys himself time and creates space. 2 things a quarterback loves to have when they're throwing the football.
And watching him Thursday and Friday at practice, he is a very impressive young man. Miller joins him in the backfield. This is what he'll do so well, is that read option. They hand it to the first back through. Nothing going on as Clay is stopped at the line of scrimmage. But that read option, that's something that Oklahoma hasn't had in a number of years.
And Louisiana Monroe, like they'll do all night, slanting, stunting, scraping. They're going to be moving up front of their front 7 defensively. Interesting formation for the Sooners. Knight this time fakes, throws, and the deep out is incomplete. Pass was intended for Saunders. Let's take a look at the rest of that Oklahoma offense. On the line, Gabe Heichert starts and ends with him. Yes, 4.0 student, obviously very intelligent, makes all the calls up front, former tight end, very athletic. Then Miller at the running back position. He can line up anywhere. He's a special team stud, plays in all 4 of the special teams, and he's probably pound for pound the best blocker on the football team. He is got position versatility. Well, Oklahoma finished 4th in the country in 3rd down percentage. They have 3rd down and 10. Knight's second pass, he tucks it. He's got some running room. He's got the first down and then some. Cuts to the outside and is tripped up at midfield. 30 yards on the first carry of Trevor Knight's career. Well, he was trying to throw the football, had his eyes down the football field, nowhere to go with the football. Little stunt up front. You see the defensive lineman crossing. Offensive line picks it up well. There's a big gap in the pass rush lanes. He tucks it, and this is what he does so well. Very explosive runner. Gets from 0 to 60 in a heartbeat. Can really accelerate. Oh, I love his speed. So it's a fresh set of downs for the Sooners. 1st and 10 at midfield. Knight stumbles, throws it into the flat. Pass is complete. Ball foul. It comes out, but it's still a completed pass. Millard coming up with the catch. Let's take a look at ULM's defense. They play a 3-3-5. They've got good speed on the line. Jaron Johnson, he was a Missouri recruit. He's good. The ball was fumbled forward. We'll go back to the fumble spot. 2nd down. Yeah, Johnson is obviously a very athletic defensive lineman being recruited. He's got Big 12 caliber to him. Cameron Blake's at the linebacker position, makes all the calls. He's the quarterback of the defense in the secondary. Isaiah Newsom, 4 interceptions, 37 career starts. Clay this time slices over the left side, gets down to the 45-yard line, pickup of about 3 on the play. Joey Gottney coming up to make the stop from that defensive end spot. And this is where you'd like to be, 3rd and 4 or less. You don't want to be 3rd and 7 or more too many times if you've got a first game starter at the quarterback position like Travis Knight. And Knight has looked poised so far except for 1 errant throw. On 3rd down, he'll put it up. Here comes the pressure. He's hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. But Knight had pressure coming right up the middle. Not a whole lot he can do. Ray Stovall coming up from that linebacker spot. Well, they blitzed both linebackers. We called this the blood cross. Watch the linebackers. They crisscross right up the gut here. And there's pressure. Kind of collapsed the pocket a little bit, but Travis Knight stood in there very, very confidently and delivered the football, but his release point was a little bit high. The ball sailed on him. Going to try to pin Louisiana Monroe back inside the 10-yard line and play field position. Well, Jed Barnett in his first years filling the void. Tress Way, of course, is gone. Rashawn Caesar standing back on his 10-yard line. Fair catch is called for right at the 10-yard line. Punt of 35 yards for Jed Barnett's first kick of the 2013 season.
And take a look at ULM's offense and their quarterback. We mentioned, obviously, Colton Browning, but last year versus the 3 AQ schools, this offense, Dave, averaged 35 points a game, but it starts with Browning.
It does, and this kid, because of his maturity level, always plays big in big moments of big football games. And an opener in Norman, Oklahoma doesn't get any bigger environment-wise. See how he responds.
Monroe Washington, the senior out of Bryan, Texas, joins him in the backfield. Browning keeps it. The southpaw throws it out of the flat. Pass is complete. Caught up over the 20 to the 24-yard line to his tight end, Harley Siano. Pick up a 14 on the play.
Well, missed tackle. Missed tackle leads to yards after catch. Came up and fired the gun, and it ended up shooting a blank. A missed opportunity right there to curtail the effort by Zach Sanchez.
And a first down for the Warhawks. And Browning will put it up again. A little pump fake, complete up to the 31-yard line. Let's go back to Louisiana Monroe's offense. The experienced offensive line, 4 of the 5 guys are plus 300 pounds.
And Josh Allen, the center, is the guy who's also the quarterback and probably the best lineman that they have. And I'll tell you, they've got a couple of good receivers that they get the ball to as much as they possibly can. And Ham, 6'4", 233-pounder. Big, big target to take advantage of.
And second down and short. They'll try the ground game. Nothing doing. The Sooners are there. And it'll be a loss of about a yard on the play. Nice penetration coming from Quincy Russell.
And Grissom finishes it up. Grissom, former tight end, moves to defensive line, back to tight end, back to defensive line. I think he's found a home. Excellent effort as he was disruptive, got in the backfield, tackle for loss. First big third down opportunity for Louisiana Monroe.
Third down, they need 4. Browning from the shotgun, empty backfield, pass is incomplete. Good defense by the Sooners. Browning tried to thread the needle, but Aaron Colvin was right there to knock it away.
Best cover guy, probably best defensive player, in my opinion. Would have been a 3rd or 4th round pick in this year's draft. Came back for senior season. Will probably be a 1st round pick. Try to run the slant. Excellent position. Would not let the receiver inside. And as a result of that tremendous position, Browning tried to throw it back shoulder. Colvin was still able to knock it away.
Justin Matten also will punt for the team, and he's kicking it away to Jalen Saunders. Of course, he had the punt return for a touchdown last year. Looks for the wall, gets away from the first wave, but not the second. And he will be down at about the 11-yard line. 56 yards on the kick, 3 on the return. The Sooners will have it when we come back.
We welcome you back to Gaylord Family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium. Joined now by Jeff and Jessica Robertson of the hit television show Duck Dynasty. Over 11 million people watched the season finale of you guys. Are you ever surprised at the success of the show?
You know, I knew we had something good. We got a good family that's funny, and I think people always tell me they like to watch a show they can watch with their whole family. It's clean, you know, so, you know, it's surprising, but we like it. I mean, our fans are fired up. So.
Jessica, what is it do you think endears you all to millions of Americans out there?
I don't know. I think it's just that we really, truly love each other, and we're stick together. We don't move off and try to, you know, climb a corporate ladder. We find it important to stay close to family and to root for each other to succeed.
Any surprises? You're just a couple of episodes into the new season. Any surprises, Jeff, you can tell us about?
There's always surprises when size involved. There is some definitely funny stuff coming up. It's going to be awesome.
Ron Thulin, who's up in the booth, is a huge fan. Wants to make sure that you say hello to Uncle Si for Ron Thulin. Okay, we appreciate it.
I can do that. I will.
Jeff and Jessica Robertson from Duck Dynasty. Ron, I know you're jealous. I'm sending it back to you.
Hey, let me tell you something. Hey, that's my Si impersonation. Damian Williams checked into the lineup for the Sooners. Knight goes back. The long out, and he is off the mark. What do you think about Knight's throwing so far? We've seen a couple of passes. They haven't been pinpoint accuracy so far.
Yeah, they haven't, and I think a big part of it, Ron, is Oklahoma's not got their running game going. You know, on first down in this series, rush for no gain. All of a sudden, you know, you're second and long, you're off schedule. and that puts a lot of pressure on a young quarterback, and it allows Louisiana Monroe to come up with pressure packages, and here they come with a 4-man front getting after it.
He's 1 of 4 throwing the football. This is 3rd down. They need 10. He looks over to the sideline. Josh Heupel makes the calls from the press box. Then they've got Jay Norvell and a couple of other assistants relaying those signals. Knight going deep on the near side, floats it up, knocked away at the last second by Rob Donovan Lewis. Pass was intended for Jazz Reynolds. Good job by Lewis, though, just getting the hand up.
Oh, on that play, Louisiana Monroe only rushed 2. They dropped 9. They took both their defensive tackles and zone blitzed them and dropped them out of there. Still dropped the dime for Reynolds. Couldn't quite make the catch. Great coverage. Got the hand in there and ripped at it and caused the incompletion. Excellent effort by Lewis in coverage.
Well, Jed Barnett's going to have to kick it away. He's inside the 5, and Rashawn Caesar, the Warhawks, standing at the 34. This is a good kick. Caesar signals the fair catch, and he will take it at the 36. 46 yards on the kick, nothing on the return. We are scoreless in Norman as we kick off 2013. Welcome back to Oklahoma. We've played 5 minutes here in the opening quarter, along with Chad McKee and Dave Lapham. I'm Ron Thulin. Louisiana Monroe takes over possession. 61 touchdowns last year, a school record. You trace their strength, Dave, back to the fact that these guys on offense, they've played a lot of football together.
As a football team, they have, Ron, continuity and consistency. Career starts returning, #1 in the country. Player starts from last year, #3 in the country.
And off right side, not much going on. The OU defense doing a nice job of stringing it out.
And Louisiana Monroe, like a lot of teams in college football, by formation, will stretch the defense out horizontally. And they'll try to get players in space. And they're getting the ball out of quarterback Browning's hands very quickly. And they'll probably start changing the launch point a little bit.
Courtney Davis picked up a yard on the play. They go right back to the ground game. This time it's Montrell Washington, a senior out of Bryan, Texas. He's able to make it a 3rd down and 5 situation.
Well, Louisiana Monroe wants to be balanced. They are not going to give up on their ground game. I think Oklahoma has to be a little bit disappointed right now. The lack of success of their ground game offensively, putting their young quarterback in too many long down and distance situations.
3rd down at about 5. Ball possession is huge for the Warhawks. Sooners bring the blitz. Browning scrambles away. He is not going anywhere. Dropped back at the 33-yard line.
Mike Stoops brought the house on this one, and look at every gap's filled, bringing them all the linebackers. Now Browning has to abort and try to get out of the pocket. Great inside-out pursuit from Oklahoma. Their defensive players can run. There is a flag on the field that's being discussed right now.
Charles Tapper was the one who led the charge. 7 yards unofficially on the loss for the Warhawks.
Personal foul, face mask on the defense, number 91.
He grabbed him by the face mask when he sacked him.
First down.
That's a tough penalty. You can't grab up around the grill. You just have to be disciplined about that. Don't go after the quarterback above his neck at that shoulder pad level. And Mike Stoops not happy. Had a defensive stop. They were going to be on the sideline drinking Gatorade in this 100-degree temperature. And now because of a personal foul, here you are with Louisiana Monroe and Browning in your territory, 1st and 10 at your 45-yard line. And here's Tapper going down. He does grab the grill and turns his head, and the official had a good view of it. You gotta let it go.
So now the Warhawks are in Sooner territory. The quick snap pass to May. He gets inside the 40, down to about the 38-yard line. Pickup of 7 on the play. Zach Sanchez on the coverage. Sanchez getting the start because Cortez Johnson not playing, serving that 1-game suspension.
You break team rules. You have to be accountable and have some reliability to you. Accountability, reliability is important abilities to have to a college athlete as physical abilities.
Now they stay ahead of the chains. Now they've got Courtney Davis and Washington in the backfield. But Browning throws it out deep into the flat. 1st down, Louisiana Monroe. Boy, he had some velocity on that. He's gained some weight, Browning. He always had a good arm, but they said he's throwing it even better now.
In ball placement, watch this. The top of the screen, it's going to be a back shoulder throw, a little pivot route. Colvin closes on it, but too late. You know, a nice short route, and Browning's getting the ball out of his hand very, very quickly.
Well, we talked about how he extends plays. 1st down and 10. This time a little flare route left side, and again another good chunky yardage, which will keep him ahead of the chains inside the 25 down to the 24-yard line.
Oh, it was a receiver screen, and nice block by Rashawn Caesar. You know, get him out in the edge. This is like an extension of your running game. Get it out there, and look, Rashawn's out in front throwing a block, and very, very safe call to make, and Washington gains 6 or 7 yards on first down, staying ahead of the chains.
Washington had 6 receptions last year. He's got 1 tonight. Now he moves into the backfield. Browning keeps it after the fake, and he is going to be stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
Good job fulfilling responsibilities for Oklahoma on that one. The defensive player that had Washington as a responsibility tackled him. And then when they realized that Browning had the football, other defensive players got involved in it. In this third down play, the third linebacker checks into the game, Ron, Stryker, and that's what he will do. He will strike you, and this kid is an excellent blitzer. He has tremendous hands and a natural instinct to rush the passer.
Coaches love Stryker. From the shotgun again, they run everything from the shotgun. Browning just dumps it off. It'll be another first down as a penalty flag comes flying in. Nice job by Devontae McNeil with a reception.
Offensive pass interference. Louisiana Monroe is going to be a huge penalty.
Pass interference on the offense, number 88. 15-yard penalty. Third down.
Big mistake by Ciano, because, you know, you had a first down moving the chains in the red zone. Now all of a sudden it's third and long, and the pass interference is going to occur. Here comes Ciano right here as he's grabbing a little bit, blocking down the football field. When the ball is in the air, you can't block when the ball is in the air. You can't block a defender like that, and a mistake by Ciano, and it cost his team some very, very valuable real estate. Now it's third and a bunch.
And we'll translate a bunch into 18. How about that? Third down and 18 for the Warhawks. Both teams hurt by big penalties. Browning from the empty backfield. Here comes some pressure. Double pumps. Hit as he throws. And that's going to be incomplete. Good pressure, though, coming from that defensive line of the Sooners. And that was one of the question marks coming into this season. Pressure was coming in this time, though, from Zach Sanchez, the cornerback.
Yeah, and you're bringing all kinds of blitzers and hitting the quarterback right in the small of the back. That's going to make him think a little bit, because the ball did come out of his hand rather quickly. 2 big penalties on that drive. They kind of nullified each other. You had Tapper extend the drive with the personal foul face mask, and then you had Ciano basically give that penalty in yards back in the red zone with his offensive pass interference. Both teams self-destructed and negated each other.
Well, Manton, this time he's going to try a little rugby kick. He looked like he may be thinking twice about it, but it's going to be an outstanding kick. And the coverage, what are they going to call it?
Whoa.
And they're going to say, no, they didn't get it in time. His feet were in the end zone.
His feet, his elbow, 2 body parts were in that end zone.
Not good coverage after a good kick by Manton, and we are scoreless in the first. We'll step aside when we come back. The Sooners will have it on offense, looking to get triggered it up.
Back with you in Norman, 6:06 to play in the first quarter. No score between Oklahoma and ULM, and we're with OU women's basketball coach Sherry Cole. You had a wonderful experience, the World University Games gold medal winning coach in Russia this summer. What was the experience like for you, Coach?
It was surreal, really. It was an honor to represent our country, obviously, and to be able to defeat Russia in Russia to win the gold medal was extra special. And then I got to take Vegas with me as a part of the roster, and that was incredible as well.
You mentioned Vegas, Aaron Ellenberg, one of your stars. You have Morgan Hook back. You'll get Maddie Manning, Kaylin Williams back from injury. Give us an early scouting report on your club.
Really healthy right now. Everybody hold your breath, cross your fingers and toes. A lot of exciting players back, and 5 new guys who will join us. So we'll have some options on the bench now. We'll be able to practice, but really a lot of talent, a great group in terms of chemistry. These guys came in over the summer and really have developed a special unity already.
Coach, we appreciate you enduring the heat and bearing with us here. Good luck this season.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, Sherry Cole, OU women's basketball coach, back up to you.
All right, Chad, one of my favorite people, and Sherry's spending a lot of time just meeting everybody on the field. Had a chance to spend some time with Sherry yesterday at the practice, and at least everybody's healthy this year. This time Knight keeps it, ducks his head, gets up to the 20-yard line, maybe a gain of about a foot. Dave, he had a 24-yard run.
Right.
But outside of that, there hasn't been a whole lot of offense for the Sooners.
Well, 27 yards on the ground before this snap, and he had 24 of them. So 3 yards by everybody else isn't going to get it done. And that run was defended very, very well. Michael Johnson on first down, they tried a swing pass, and the linebacker ran down the running back on the perimeter. Tell you, Louisiana Monroe can run.
Well, Sooners 1 of 3 on third down, and this time the pass is batted down. So make it 1 of 4.
Jeffrey's got his big mucker up and knocked it down to the turf. Now, Knight isn't obviously the biggest quarterback, around, and that had a very low trajectory on it. Got the left mucker up and knocked it to the turf. So too many second and third and longs. Louisiana Monroe is doing a good job in the early downs, making it third and not manageable for Oklahoma's offense.
Well, this is the third punt for the Sooners. They only have 1 first down. Barnett's kick. Caesar. They're catching again at the 33-yard line. So Barnett with the kick, but again, good field position for Monroe after the 37-yard punt. Inside of 5 minutes to play in Norman, and we are scoreless with the Sooners in Louisiana Monroe. Hey, Sooner fans, never miss another moment when you join Soonersports.tv, powered by Fox Sports. It's the ultimate access for the ultimate Sooner fans. Whether you want to watch it live, catch the game recap, or get the coach's perspective, Soonersports.tv has your key to the vault. Sign up now and get 3 months free. Log on to Soonersports.tv now and enter the code SoonerTV. And Louisiana Monroe takes over, and Browning goes back to work. This is what they do so well. When you're talking to all their coaches over the weekend, they were talking about how their offense operates, and mainly they run a lot of intermediate passes.
They do a nice little pivot route to the sideline, and they have Browning changing the launch point, getting out of the pocket so the pass rushers can't just zero in on one target. They pick up 4 yards here. They're averaging 5 yards on first down, making it second and reasonable. Oklahoma's 1 yard run, making it second and long. Difference in the game.
Yeah, that's why Knight's not getting a whole lot of help. And now Browning's getting tracked down. He extends the play. Good defense by Oklahoma. Not only did they put the pressure on, but they also had Julian Wilson there to swat it away.
I think that they're doing a good job in the back end. Browning is getting the ball out of his hand quickly. Tapper makes him change his launch point and step up in the pocket and pull the ball down. Tapper with the pressure, good coverage on the back end of things. Nicely done all the way around when Julian Wilson was in such great coverage.
And now they face third down. Louisiana Monroe 0 for 2 on third down. Closing in on 4 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Here comes some pressure. Browning feels it, lets it fly, incomplete. But it started because of the pressure of Oklahoma from the outside.
Well, you have a situation where Colton Browning has to think he's looking in a mirror because Oklahoma has run more 3-3-5 than Louisiana Monroe does. In practice, Browning works against this 3-3-5 of his team all the time. Oklahoma doing a nice job, Mike Stoops says, creating pressure packages out of that very versatile front.
This will be the third punt for Justin Minton. And he gets another nice punt off. No fair catch called for by Saunders, and he is going to be swamped over right at about the 19-yard line.
Here comes a little scuffle, a little extracurricular activity. And watching special teams where team speed usually shows up, Louisiana Monroe can run. They're covering every kick very, very well. Trying to get to the perimeter, and there's Louisiana Monroe. They're all in their coverage lanes, and then here we go, a little frustration as Oklahoma gets up. Louisiana Monroe's like, no, you're down. and we're not going to take any grief. We know it's your home field, but we're here to play. I mean, we've been in tough environments before.
They have that, and everybody's read over the week that obviously they upset then-ranked Arkansas the first game of the year.
Eighth ranked at that time.
Eighth ranked, lost to Auburn in overtime, lost to Baylor by 5. And talking to Coach Brady, he said, hey, our guys are not intimidated. Our guys aren't intimidated by anyone.
They had a lead on Auburn late and lost that game by 3 points right at the end.
3 and out the last 2 drives for the Sooners. 0 yards on those drives. Knight, pressure. He throws it deep. Has a man over the wrong shoulder. Incomplete. Pass was intended for May. Or check that pass was intended for Saunders.
Yeah, Saunders had a 9 route, just that deep route, and he was wide open. And Travis Knight tried to get rid of the ball quickly and threw it toward the sideline over his outside shoulder instead of his inside shoulder, because he had him beaten so easily. You got to put that ball on him. There's no question. You have to hit a better spot.
And again, Sooners facing long on 2nd down, 2nd and 10. Warhawks, again, they bring 4. The Sooners try to go straight ahead, and not much going on.
Well, that was an opportunity that was missed. And in a game like this, you can't afford missed opportunities. So they gained no yards on 1st down because of that completion. In reality, it could have been a touchdown bomb if the ball was completed. So Oklahoma's still struggling, averaging less than 1 yard per play on 1st down. 1st down failure leads to 3rd and long, which is tough to convert.
And 3rd down so far, they are 1 of 4, the Sooners. Now they go 3 wides to the right, 1 to the top of your screen. Damian Williams joining Knight in the backfield. 3 down linemen for the Warhawks. And they bring 5. Here comes pressure on Knight. They pick it up, throws it into the flat. Complete, but well short of the 1st down. It'll be about 2 yards short. Good job just getting that ball away to Colton Bester.
Yeah, scuba. And he ran a little shallow cross underneath crossing route. And once again, they can run. I mean, Louisiana Monroe is right there on his hip. Nice job by Justin Backus closing on the football. Travis Knight, if he got the ball out in front, instead of making him stop to make the catch, if he leads Bester and that leads to yards after catch, don't throw it behind him or at him, lead him.
Ted Barnett, his 4th kick of the night. And another fair catch is called for. Again, about the same area at the 32-yard line. 40 yards on the kick. And again, Louisiana Monroe, I tell you what, they've had decent field position every time they've gotten the football.
They have. I think that the average drive start, I think they are winning that battle of hidden yards. No turnovers yet in the football game. Both teams had a very critical penalty on the same drive. Oklahoma's defense, Tapper, had the personal foul. And then Ciano returned the favor with the big offensive pass interference penalty. Other than that, I think Louisiana Monroe has enjoyed better field position starting drives.
One of the question marks for Louisiana Monroe coming into the game is, can their offensive line hold up versus OU defense? They think that they can run away from the Sooners' coverage. Here's Browning, reverses field. Able to make a positive play out of it. He gets up to the 35-yard line, extending plays. How many times did we hear that from the coaching staff about Browning?
Yeah, make something out of nothing. See, changing the launch point again. Not saying Oklahoma, here, 7 yards behind the center, I'm going to be there all day. That's your target to rush. He's everywhere.
Play action pass, throws it into the flat, complete, short of the 1st down. Does give up to about the 41-yard line to Tavares May, the senior out of Petal, Mississippi. Aaron Colvin on the coverage.
At some point, Ron, what Louisiana Monroe is trying to do is to get Oklahoma to bite on these short intermediate routes. Then it's going to be a pump fake double move. And at some point in time, they're going to test them with that double move, trying to get the ball over the top.
May with his 3rd reception of the night. And it's a 3rd down and short for the Warhawks. Oklahoma with 5 on the line of scrimmage. They bring 4. Browning going away from the pressure. Almost tripped up. Gets away with it. Slides at the 38-yard line. He'll lose a couple.
Stryker had him in his sights and couldn't finish the sack. He got tremendous pressure and tried to run Browning down from behind. Here comes Stryker at the top of the screen. Oh, just couldn't quite. He was just nipping at his heels, but he basically disrupted the play where Browning had no opportunity to make any play down the football field, and Frank Shannon finished.
You know what we're seeing too, Dave, is something that Mike Stoops talked to us about, the speed of the linebackers. He said our linebackers are faster this year.
Right.
We saw in that play even Corey Nelson trying to come from behind.
Yeah, they all can run. There's no question.
Matten again with a rugby kick. Saunders awaiting it. End over end. Saunders gets it on the run, and he'll step out of bounds at about the 22-yard line. Only 43 yards on the kick. But for the freshman Trevor Knight, only the 4th freshman to start an opener for the Sooner. It's been a struggle this afternoon.
Yeah, it really has. And he's been in, we talked about it already, a lot too many 2nd and 3rd and long opportunities. So at that point in time, Josh Heupel says, let's throw it on 1st down. And he hasn't been able to complete the ball on 1st down either. This was the biggest 1st down opportunity. It not only could have been a 1st down conversion, it could have been a touchdown. because you know, he had his receiver down the football field. Saunders could have taken it to the house with the foot speed he has, put it over his outside shoulder instead of the inside shoulder, keeping him on the field to play.
Roy Finch is checked back into the lineup, the senior out of Niceville, Florida. He is such an exciting player. Has the opportunity to break it every time he touches the football. This pass is thrown into double coverage. Probably not the wisest pass by Knight. Incomplete. Donovan Lewis on the coverage.
Yeah, Lewis was able to break on the football a little bit late with the decision to throw it, and the ball hung in the air a little bit. And as a result of that, Lewis was able to break on the ball. 3 out of 10 for 7 yards. That's a tough start for sure, but the offensive line in the running game, they have to get something on track to help them.
And second and long again. It's a 10. Here comes some pressure. Knight reads it up the middle. Tucks it over the 30-yard line to the 31. He'll be about a yard short of the first down.
Design quarterback draw, Ron. You can see Eichert right here. Eichert snaps the ball. Knight gets the shotgun snap, and Eichert just sets and gets down the football field to block the linebacker. The leading rusher on the football team is Travis Knight. He had a 24-yard lug, and now he adds 9 more to it.
All you got to do is follow behind your preseason All-American and guy who already graduated with a 4.0 GPA. But for the Oklahoma Sooners in the first quarter, it was not a good one as far as offensively is concerned. Only 48 total yards. The good news, they held Louisiana Monroe to 57. Scoreless after the first quarter in Norman. Oklahoma Sooner football is brought to you by your Oklahoma Ford dealers. Don't miss the Ford Summer Spectacular featuring blockbuster deals. Now playing at your local Oklahoma Ford dealer. By the OU Alumni Association and Sooner Athletics. 2 great traditions for more than 100 years. Stay connected to your... Okay, so Saunders is on the near side. Welcome back to Norman, Oklahoma, as the Sooners again facing another third down. They've missed their last 4 third down chances. They're 1 for their last 5 on third down, and all have been from plus 6 yards. The keeper. First down, Oklahoma, up to the 35-yard line.
Well, they're running an inverted wishbone and letting Knight read it out. That was a conversion because they had better success on first and second down. Third and less than a yard. You got to convert that one, and they did a good job in so doing.
And Knight tries to hurry it up as Louisiana Monroe still looking to the sideline, and Finch, right side, got a little running room. Up over the 40, up to the 44-yard line. Pickup of 8 on the play.
This is a kid, Ron, you have to get in space. He's got the short space quickness. He's obviously not a real tall guy. He can hide behind those big linemen.
Well, he shuffled all over the place last season. Pass is incomplete. That'll bring up a third down and short situation intended for the outside to Clay. We're just waiting, I think, for Trevor Knight to try to get something going. You know, to get a little confidence here.
Yeah, he's not in rhythm right now. And Louisiana Monroe has gotten him out of rhythm, and they've done it by predominantly stopping the running game, other than his run at the quarterback position.
They've got Millard and Damian Williams in the backfield. Third down and just over a yard and a half. Finch this time, he has stood up, fighting for that first down, and I think he got it.
Wow. Second and third effort, individual effort right there. Oklahoma tried the power play, and you pull the off guard. He keys the fullback's block, and Louisiana Monroe just penetrated and said, forget the power play, we're going to penetrate.
And Oklahoma quickly going to work again with the ground game. And Williams, who was the workhorse last year, kind of a downhill guy, gets good yardage, but we have a flag.
Yeah, it looks like a hold on the edge allowed Williams to get to the perimeter. This might be coming back. Williams is the most explosive athlete in the weight room that Oklahoma has.
Legal substitution on the defense.
Oh, that's
12 men on the field when the ball was snapped. Penalties decline.
That's a bad. That's a tough game management penalty right there.
Steve Novak, our referee this evening.
They got caught with the up-tempo, and Oklahoma this year is going to change tempo. And this tempo scenario is going to give fits to Troy Reffett, the fine defensive coordinator for Louisiana Monroe. Boy, since he's been defensive coordinator, they've had a lot of takeaways, tackle for losses, and sacks.
Sooners going back with 3 in the backfield. Millard also joining him back there. Still waiting for him to explode. Right side again, hopping over the defense. It's Damian Williams. Boy, Damian Williams, you go back to that Texas game, he had a 95-yard touchdown run versus the Longhorns. 167 yards in that ball game. Explosive. Millard was looking for somebody to block. Sooners quickly back. Williams again. Maybe gets about 3 on the carry.
Millard got one there. He fitted his helmet and knocked the defender back about 5 yards. As I said earlier, pound for pound, Millard is the best blocker on this Oklahoma football team. And his position diversity, he's already lined up as a wide receiver, as an H-back, as a tight end, as a fullback in this game, and playing all the special teams. He's going to play for a long time on Sunday on those 46-man rosters.
So Brennan Clay's checked into the lineup for the Sooners. Matwire also in for Oklahoma. On second down, the pitch back to play, looking for some running room. The stutter step down to the 30-yard line. That'll be another first down for Oklahoma. That'll be their 5th third down of the evening. Good. 11th play of the drive, too.
Watch Louisiana Monroe run. I mean, they have 5 guys out in the perimeter chasing this play. They can fly.
Oklahoma quickly, handoff left side, running room inside the 20. Again, it is Clay.
They're finding an opportunity to the edge, get the ball out quickly to the perimeter, and see if they can gash Louisiana Monroe. I like the strategy because they have to run and pursue, and it's going to tire them out.
And they've picked up the pace, too. Clay stutter stepping on the 12th play of the drive. Gets down to the 15-yard line, pickup of 2 on the play. The success really happened, David. Seemed like when Bob Stoops said, well, let's go a little more NASCAR speed on this.
NASCAR speed and running wide to the perimeter, making like defensive linemen like Johnson run, and they're being subbed out right now. The down linemen are tapping out. They're so tired they can't get in a 3-point stance and run and pursue the football anymore. They had to be substituted.
And you can see the red zone opportunities for the Sooners, 11th in the NCAA, tied last season. On second down. Knight, the handoff to Williams. The battering ram gets down to the 12-yard line. That'll bring up a third down situation. And probably about 5. Check that, about 4.
Big third down conversion. This is the biggest of the night. Obviously, they've had their issues, their struggles on third down. This one, when you're in the red zone, is monumental.
Third down, officially, they're calling it 5.5. Williams in the backfield. They look over to the sideline. Flash cards are being flashed by the coaches and signs being given. Knight looks left, throws left, complete, touchdown, Oklahoma. Jalen Saunders with Trevor Knight's first touchdown pass of his career.
That one had some RPMs on it. He got that ball out of his hand and put it right on the money with some serious velocity. You know, he's such a threat to run the football. You have to respect that in your pass rush. And he had vision and lanes, and an excellent route is run that time by Saunders. And he absolutely beat Smith in such a short space. He had about 4 or 5 yard separation.
Honey cut for the extra point. And it is good. 14 plays, 78 yards for the Oklahoma Sooners. First to get on the board. Jalen Saunders said his goal this year is to score in every game. 1 down. A few more to go.
Yes.
Come back to Norman. Joined now by Ryan Spangler of the OU men's basketball team. You had a great experience, trip to France and Belgium for 10 days and played 5 games, visited some historic sites. What was the experience like?
Man, it's amazing. You always hear, you know, growing up in history classes about what's happening over there. And then we get to visit and see what it's really all about, so it's awesome.
You're from right in the shadow of this campus, Blanchard, Oklahoma. How's it been for you to come back as a student athlete and watch some of these games here at OU?
It's always nice knowing people that you played against or played for, always coming back and watching you or watching me make them play.
Just a little over a month away from practice. Ryan, thanks.
Thank you.
Send it back up to you, Ron.
All right, thank you very much, Chad. Of course, Jalen Saunders with a touchdown reception. He had 3 last year. Of course, played only 9 games, and the team took on a whole different look offensively when he played. And we are set. And this has no shot at being returned.
Ron, the key on that offensive touchdown drive for Oklahoma, 2 things. Running the ball to the perimeter, making Louisiana Monroe, big defensive linemen, pursue and run and get tired and have to be substituted out, and going up-tempo. Those 2 things, making them run and making them run with no break between plays, really wore Louisiana Monroe down and really benefited Oklahoma in that drive. So Oklahoma has the potential to shift gears in terms of tempo, and they're controlling tempo in the stages of this second quarter.
One of the keys for Louisiana Monroe was score when opportunity presents itself. They haven't had a whole lot of opportunities. Mishandled by Jairus Edwards. Here's a guy that rushed for over 435 yards last year. He's number 4 on ULM's all-time rushing as far as touchdowns concerned, but can't get his handle on this one.
Little shovel pass. It's just an incomplete pass. It's not a fumble. He's got to catch that football.
They weren't sure how much he was going to play. He's been dinged up and nursed an injury. So for the first time in a long time,
unbalanced line from Louisiana Monroe, both tackles on the same side of the line of scrimmage.
And they move to the left, and they hand it off to Edwards. And we've got a whistle, and it's probably going to be a motion call.
False start on the offense. Number 65, 5-yard penalty.
Now Joseph Treadwell got going a little quickly.
So what they did, look, only a guard on this side. Both tackles are on the opposite side. The field is tilting left. They try to run the ball that way, but early movement curtailed that unbalanced line operation.
Well, Dave, with all of them weighing over 300 pounds, Norman was tilting left.
Yeah.
Browning started this game as quarterback, 5 for 6 for 42 yards. Since then, just 2 of 6 for 9 yards. Now he faces a 2nd down and 15. Edwards looking for a block, gets it, able to pick up about 5 on the play. OU President's Associates brings us tonight's key player for Louisiana Monroe. And, of course, it is Colton Browning, 7 for 12, 51 yards. Proud sponsor of OU Athletics. Join them in supporting a tradition of excellence at the University of Oklahoma. And now Colton Browning and company face a 3rd down and 10. Sooners with 6 in the box. They bring 4. Browning. Nice catch, and it's going to be complete. Up over the 35 to the 36-yard line.
He hit Cook in the only spot that Cook could make the play. Ball placement, once again, outstanding. Take him to the sideline. He has to dive to make the catch. The ball is put where he's going to make the catch. Just an outstanding play by Browning and a nice route run by Cook. Move the chains.
Cook only had 5 receptions last year. Gets his first so far tonight. The run game, nothing doing. The Sooners there. Short yardage pickup of about 1 on the play.
You know, Louisiana Monroe only traveled 65 players. It's 100 degrees in kickoff down there. They are going to get tired. They don't have that many players to roll in there and substitute as the second half comes upon us. That's going to be very, very difficult, particularly if Oklahoma continues to go up-tempo and stresses that Louisiana Monroe defense like they did on the last drive.
And Oklahoma continues to shuttle in defensive players.
And they're running the 3-3-5 still.
Browning gets it back to Edwards after the fake. They're going to call it a completed pass, but he's actually going to lose about a half a yard.
Yeah, that one wasn't very pretty.
No.
That one, it's basically, again, an extension of the running game. It's almost like a long lateral. Get the ball out in space and see if your running back can make somebody miss, but that throw was off target.
And so the Warhawks, 1 of 5 on 3rd down. They need 9.5 to get the first. Sooner defense has kicked it up a notch.
That's the strength of the game so far. That's the story of the game, how well they played defensively with this 3-3-5 look.
They come with 5. Browning reads it, hit as he throws. Incomplete. Another great job with pressure. Tapper and company coming in hard.
Tapper comes off the edge like a man. He may have only played 2 years of football, but he has a great feel, and it's easy when you're unblocked. So there was an assignment error up front. They didn't recognize the defensive front well enough. They slid the line the wrong way. Tapper comes in untouched to Browning. That's going to hurt.
And they're going to have to kick it away. Fair catch is being called for by Saunders at the 23-yard line. So the Sooners score first on offense. Their defense has kicked it up. They have the football, leading by a touchdown. Let's take a look at our Chesapeake Energy first half game summary. And you can see Oklahoma's first 4 drives, 39. What'd they do the last drive? Well, we'll just double it up, make it look good.
And again, the difference on the last drive, tempo, and where they ran the football to the perimeter really fatigued Louisiana Monroe's inside-out pursuit. They had to substitute, mass substitutions, and it really had an impact on that drive.
Chesapeake Energy leading a responsible energy future. So the Sooners take over. Knight, not a good pass, throwing it out of the flat. Pass was intended for Finch.
Finch wants to make sure it wasn't a lateral. You know, he's hustling after it, because if that ball's thrown sideways, that's basically a lateral, and it's a live football, and he didn't hear any whistles blowing, so he alertly was trying to jump on the ball just in case.
And Finch will stay in the backfield, 2nd and 10. Ball spotted at the 23-yard line. Crowd is incredibly quiet. Finch looks for some running room, gets the crowd on their feet as he gets the first down. Finally run out of bounds right at the first down marker at about the 33.5, 34-yard line.
Nice block on the front side. Darrell Williams, the big right tackle. Look at him sustain contact and secure the edge. Not enough run support from the secondary.
Pass is incomplete.
Staying up tempo, though, and you see they're still going to the edges of the defense, making Louisiana Monroe run. Bob Stoops is saying, let's make them pursue inside out, wear them down, and then run multiple plays at them. It worked on the last drive. Let's continue it. You've got to execute and complete that ball.
Well, the Sooners have rushed for 115 yards in this ball game, and Louisiana Monroe was afraid that OU would put their big boy pants on when it came to running the ball.
But it hasn't been big boy. It's been on the edge.
Yeah. Nice pass. Tipped, almost picked off. I think that old Darius Lively is going to be dreaming about that tonight.
Yeah, that ball was lively. Lively couldn't handle it. I mean, tip balls those are a quarterback's nightmare. It's the second ball that's been tipped today. There was a pass tipped on 3rd down, and Lively almost tipped it to himself.
On 3rd down and 10, Knight has the time. Deep out route caught over the 45 to the 46-yard line. Pass complete to Jazz Reynolds. 41 receptions back in 2011. He picks up 11 on that play.
Did a good job of going to the ground and securing that football.
And again, the Sooners kick it up. Knight quickly throwing the out. Didn't have the grip on the ball, and the pass to Saunders off the mark.
Sometimes when you go...
Play, replay page on the field.
Okay,
plays under review.
Jazz Reynolds' reception, they wanted to make sure that he caught it and didn't trap it on the ground.
They're saying prior to the time the ball was snapped.
And there is no foul for legal substitution because we've been paged by replay.
Thank you.
So, as Jazz Reynolds went to the ground, replay was reviewing it to make sure that it was indeed a catch. And they, at that point in time, quick snapped it. Did he have it? Ooh. That's why they wanted to take a look at it. That's remember, in college football, every single play is reviewed. It comes from top down, not from bottom up by request. And they wanted to make sure that that ball was secured properly, and the ground didn't help in that process.
Mike just wants a clarification on it. We mentioned earlier Mike in his 15th year looking for win number 150. I mean, you know, when we've talked to him a number of times, going even back to July, about, you know, hey, you're 8 away from tying Coach Switzer. And like most coaches would say, well, I'm not going to consider that right now. But I think Coach Switzer brings it up every now and then.
Yeah, and that one's dicey. I mean, taking another look at that, did the ground help him? Did he have full possession of that football? is there enough evidence to overturn it? That's why the call on the field is so important. It has to be indisputable evidence to overturn the call on the football field.
And we look at Bob Stoops. From 99 to 2012, no team has won more games than the Oklahoma Sooners, 149 victories.
And there wasn't enough to overturn it. If they had called it incomplete, it may have stood as well. They called it complete, and the call is going to stand, it sounds like, and they'll operate.
And it'll be a first down for Oklahoma.
After review, ruling on the play stands as called. The first down.
Dicey call. That's why the call on the field becomes so important. Those guys are the ones that have the instantaneous reaction to what they saw. And it has to be indisputable to overturn that instinct.
Well, Coach Berry obviously didn't like it from the Warhawks, and Trevor Knight goes back to work. 1st and 10, ball on the 46-yard line.
The inverted wishbone once again.
Finch, Millard, and Ripkowski in the backfield. And they're going to throw it. Knight sees some pressure, scrambles away, looking, has to scramble out of bounds, gets over the 45 to about the 46-yard line, maybe getting back to the line of scrimmage.
Quick pressure by Malcolm Edmond. He just got up inside right away and distorted the pocket for Knight. He was out in the perimeter running for his life, trying to make something out of nothing on that one.
And 2nd down and long. Knight straight drop, looks right, throws right, complete. First down, Oklahoma, over the 45, down to the 43-yard line. Jalen Saunders again. Or check that, Sterling Shepard.
Okay, route run on the perimeter, just a 2-man route. Gets a little separation, sink your hips, get in and out of the cut. Protection was outstanding.
Going right back. Nice little stutter step by Shepard, gets in the clear. And that'll be close to yet another first down to about the 33-yard line.
In my opinion, that was a run. That was a backward pass that Shepard secured and get up the football field. That didn't look like it was a downfield throw. From my perspective, it looked like it was a backward pass. And again, an extension of the running game. Bob Stoops and his offensive staff, Josh Heupel, they're deciding, let's get the ball in the perimeter and continue to make Louisiana Monroe run inside out in fatigue.
1 first down in the first quarter, 9 here in the second for the Sooners. Straight ahead run. Williams got the first down. Inside the 30, down to the 29-yard line.
Got a good fold block going on. Little fold inside, center and guard. Center blocks back, guard folds around. Gets up to the linebacker level. Makes it an easy inside running lane. That's one of the more successful runs between the tackles Oklahoma has had. If they can tire Louisiana Monroe in the second half, the big boys may start leaning on them inside.
Well, Jalen Saunders checked back into the lineup for the Sooners on 1st and 10 from the 29, and Knight's going to put it up again. Going for 6. Has Bester and overthrows him.
A little more air under that football. A little bit different trajectory, and might have had another touchdown pass. He had one on 3rd down or 1st down that was overthrown. Could have been a touchdown bomb. This one, separation is there, and he realizes, oh man, I had him there, but just put a little bit too much, put it on a frozen rope too much. Got to get a little more air under that football.
Well, this is the 11th play of this drive. They had a 14-play drive that went for a touchdown earlier. Knight runs the option, pitches back to Williams. Looks for some running room, gets down to the 25-yard line.
Once again, where are they running the ball? To the perimeter.
Yeah.
And look at Louisiana Monroe. They all have to hustle inside out. And I'll give them their kudos. They're still running. They're still hustling. They are rolling in different players trying to keep people fresh, but it may take its toll in the second half. They may have to take IV fluids at halftime and reboot.
3rd down, the Sooners need 5. Warhawks showing blitz, and here they come. Pass tipped up in the air again and almost picked off. This time, Emmanuel Jeffries got the hand on it, couldn't bring it down.
Okay, let's take a look at blitz pickup. When you don't have the football in your hands, what do you do as a running back? Well, you have to come up inside sometimes and deliver a blow like this to allow your quarterback to throw the football. Nice job on the perimeter defensively, getting out. That's Jeffries on a zone blitz, getting out from his defensive end position, getting his big hands up in the air.
Michael Honeycutt will attempt a 41-yard kick. He was 2 for 4 from this distance last season. Of course, he was 17 to 21, just very steady. And we've got a timeout called by Oklahoma.
First charge of the first half. Timeout on the field.
We'll take a timeout. Bob Stoops wants to talk about it with his team, leading 7-0. 5 minutes and 39 seconds left before intermission. The Sooners with 170 yards in this ball game, 74 yards for Louisiana Monroe, and Honeycutt back out on the field. Once again, officially a 41-yard kick. Austin Woods, the snapper. And Botham, the holder. Little high snap, able to get it down. Kick on the way. Yes. Good. And the Sooners up the lead to 10-0.
The way Oklahoma's defense is playing, Ron, a 2-score lead is a big deal. They've been playing very, very well.
So we were talking during the break of, okay, who's the MVP so far? And you were pretty adamant that it's the defense of Oklahoma.
Yeah, I mean, in all phases of it. They've made Louisiana Monroe one-dimensional. They've only got 12 yards rushing. So they've made them throw the football, and then they've pressured the quarterback, Browning, extensively. And on the back end for Mike Stoops, his coverage has been outstanding, and his linebacker playing. Those guys have been flying all over the field, blitzing the quarterback, dropping back into coverage. Mike Stoops is a prideful guy. He wants the swagger to come back in this Oklahoma defense, and historically and traditionally, and including when Mike Stoops has been the coordinator defensively of this Oklahoma squad, it's been outstanding. And I'll tell you, early returns are good in the first half of this one.
Well, that was our key player, brought to you by the OU Alumni Association and Sooner Athletics. 2 great traditions for more than 100 years. Stay connected to your university. Visit alumni.ou.edu for more details.
Going to that 3-3-5 configuration, Ron, it gives Mike Stoops so much more creativity for pressure packages, and he's taken advantage of it. And the key to that, again, is having linebackers that can both play the pass and stop the run.
Nick Hodgson kicks it away, and it's going to be a deep one again. Join Soonersports.tv, powered by Fox Sports. It's the ultimate access for the ultimate Sooner fans. Whether you want to watch it live, catch the game recap, or get the coach's perspective, Soonersports.tv has your key to the video vault. Sign up now and get 3 months absolutely free. Log on now to Soonersports.tv and enter the code SoonerTV. That's a pretty good deal.
Not a bad deal at all.
No. And now Colton Browning's got to try to get something going. He's got 5 minutes and 34 seconds to work with.
There's Stryker. Watch him.
Browning 9 of 15, 62 yards. Browning empty backfield, has plenty of time, throws it behind the intended receiver.
Boy, Stryker comes off that edge with authority. Offensive tackle tried a little cut block on Stryker, and he was able to keep his balance and get some pressure on Browning. Stryker has a great ability to lean and lower his body, great hands. He's a good football player.
Out of Seffner, Florida, just a sophomore. Empty backfield again. Here comes the Sooners with pressure. Browning reads it. The quick dump out to the far side. Pass is complete to Caesar.
Boy, nice tackle on the perimeter, limiting it to minimal yardage. I mean, that's just one-on-one in the open field, and Gabe Lynn, the safety, makes a nice hit.
Caesar's first catch of the evening, and it's 3rd down and about 4. They are 1 of 6 on 3rd down tonight, and again, nobody in the backfield with Browning. Caesar goes in motion. Here comes the pressure. Browning hit as he throws. Penalty flag thrown as the pass falls incomplete. The flag was right at the line of scrimmage, which you'd have to think it was holding because Corey Nelson was blowing
Personal
in.
Foul. Chop block on the offense, number 78. Penalties declined. Fourth down.
Illegal chop block is one offensive lineman has contact in the upper body with an Oklahoma defender, and somebody else takes him low. And there it is right there. Chop block, high-low. We used to call it the accordion block. It used to be legal. You fold them up like an accordion. Now it's no longer legal. They're protecting players a lot better than back in the day, Ron.
6 punt for Louisiana Monroe. We were talking before the game how the game has changed since you played with the Bengals.
Yes.
That's exactly what we were talking about. Saunders, again, just puts it down. And the Sooners will have 4 minutes and 51 seconds to work with. In fact, one of the security guards said to you, he said, game sure's has changed since you played.
He's right about that.
Yeah, boy, you got that right.
And I'll also say financially it's changed. Man, there's a lot of money being doled. A $10 billion industry now is the National Football League. That's Fortune 50. That's not Fortune 500. $10 billion.
I know.
Ooh.
That's Dave's check with the Bengals. Chad, how hot is it down on the field right now?
Guys, it's probably low 90s right now, but I'm on the cool seats. Athletic Recovery Zone is the company. This is Earl Theus. The first time these have been here at the University of Oklahoma. Kind of give us an idea of the concept behind these.
Sure. We're out of Jacksonville, Florida, and about 4 years ago, some fellows that were with the Jaguars and a couple of friends of mine in the air conditioning business had an idea to develop a air conditioning football bench. So they all got together, came up with the idea. Two fellows invented it. The Jaguars helped us tremendously in fine-tuning everything. Coach Del Rio was very instrumental in helping us do just that. And this is the Generation 3, so this is our product after 4 years.
Guys, I'll be right back with you.
Nice.
We held him up so highly, too, that he was putting up with this heat. Now we know. Now 2nd down and 8 now for the Sooners after the carry by Brennan Clay.
A little razzle-dazzle on that carry. A lot of misdirection.
And they'll just go right back to keeping it on the ground. How about dancing around is Roy Finch. He's got some running room, needs one block to the outside. Cuts back inside, what a cut. Still on his feet. Loses about 4, but he does get to the 50-yard line. 21 yards on the run by Finch. He probably went 40.
40, I think he went 100. I mean, look at him cut back. I mean, he cuts back all the way across the football field and then cuts back again all the way back to the other side of the football field. You talk about serpentining. Holy Macalandy. But that's tremendous vision and change of direction. He has got the quicks. There's no doubt about that.
I'll tell you what, you talk to the coaches about Finch, and they have praised his work ethic. He's got 40 yards rushing on 3 carries. Knight keeps it inside the 40 down to the 37-yard line. That'll be another first down for Oklahoma. Plenty of time on the clock at 3:39.
Little misdirection again, and Miller's out there lead blocking for Knight. Knight turns it up the football field and picks up some nice yards. Now they're mixing it up. You know, they're running the ball now between the tackles a little bit because coaching staff feels like, hey, it's the end of the 2nd quarter. We've had this Louisiana Monroe defense running inside out, pursuing our outside. Soften the belly a little bit now.
Well, Millard and Rapkowski are both in the lineup now for Oklahoma. Nyko hands it straight back to Williams. He dances. Gets down to the 35-yard line. Pickup of 3 on the play as the clock goes inside of 3 minutes to play in the half.
Little outside zone right there, and it's just offensive linemen working in tandem with each other, double teaming the down lineman, and somebody rubs off to that linebacker level. And Oklahoma outweighs Louisiana Monroe's defensive line by an average of 50 pounds per guy. So in the 2nd half, with the temperature and the tempo and everything else that Oklahoma does, don't be surprised if the big boys start leaning on him pretty heavily.
Well, Kentarius Caldwell, who was injured in 2012, cost him the entire season. He's got to limp off. And you look at this defense of Louisiana Monroe. 3 starters were knocked out for the year, and yet they still ended up going for their first FBS bowl game ever since becoming an FBS team.
And in the bowl game, the flu ravaged the football team. Everybody was running a fever. Browning was running 102 fever and played the whole game.
Now we're back. Sooners 2nd down and 7. Right, straight ahead handoff. Nice job running again by Damian Williams. be close to the first down, and they're going to say it is another first down.
And here's where they're starting to thump them. They feel like they got Louisiana Monroe fatigue a little bit. They're standing up. You know, they're not slanting and stunting as quickly as they did.
Well, they were afraid OU would big boy them, and they're doing it right now, just pounding it away right down the middle. Another big gain on first down of 6. 13 first downs for Oklahoma this quarter. Williams was on that last carry.
And Oklahoma slowing the tempo down a little bit as they pound it inside. So they're really in control of this football game in terms of tempo, and they're basically punching and making Louisiana Monroe counterpunch now.
Miller goes to the tailback spot as Williams goes into the slot. Miller's got the football. Crashes his way inside the 20 to the 17-yard line. Close to a first down, depending on the spot.
Well, you got to let the big dog eat every once in a while. He blocks for everybody. He catches. He plays all the special teams. Let him have the rock one time, and he moves the chains. This kid is a heck of a football player. I'm very uncertain.
I'm surprised he only had 140 touches coming into this year. First down from about the 17-yard line. Sooners pick up 2 again. Williams. There's a good look at Trey Miller, the senior out of Columbia, Missouri. You talk to the coaches, they say he's just a football player.
Well, he had 33 rushes of the football last season. So, you know, it wasn't like he was the featured guy by any stretch. And he had 30 catches of the football as well. So pretty balanced in how they used him, but they didn't use him a whole lot because he's such a valuable blocker and special teams guy.
There you saw the total yards between the two teams. Knight just looks up, fires out to Sanders. Great coverage put on by the Warhawks. Rob Donovan Lewis, who's had an outstanding game. One of the best athletes on this team.
Watch how he splits blockers.
Timeout.
Nobody blocks him. I mean, if you put a shoulder pad on him, and Jazz Reynolds is the guy that never touched anybody, and as a result of that, Lewis just laid a big lick on Saunders.
And we've got a timeout with 47 seconds remaining. We come back, the Sooners facing third down.
48 seconds.
Oklahoma Sooner football is brought to you by your Oklahoma Ford dealers. Don't miss the Ford Summer Spectacular featuring blockbuster deals. Now playing at your local Oklahoma Ford dealer. By the OU Alumni Association and Sooner Athletics. 2 great traditions for more than 100 years. Stay connected to your university. Visit alumni.ou.edu for more details. And by OU President's Associates, proud supporters of OU athletics. Join us in supporting a tradition of excellence at the University of Oklahoma. They've done much better, Dave.
Yeah, they have. They started off 1 for 5 run. They're 4 for their last 5, and that's because they've done a lot better job on first down. It's been 2nd and 3rd and short instead of 2nd and 3rd and very long.
This time they need 9. Knight looks. Throws looking for the end zone. Incomplete. Almost picked off, and it should have been intended for Jazz Reynolds. But again, Rob Donovan Lewis was right there with Cordero Smith.
Well, basically, it's cover 2. You have a safety over the top. Corner underneath, safety over the top. Don't throw into cover 2. Tough to complete a fade. There's a very, very tight window there, and almost sacrificed an opportunity for points with a turnover in the end zone. Fortunately, it didn't occur.
Well, you know what they say about DBs, they're wide receivers with bad hands. So, and a 33-yard attempt now by Michael Honeycutt. He's already got 1 in the books, and give him another in a letter sweater. So the Sooners, they score a touchdown on a 14-play drive. Then they get the field goal on the 13-play drive. And they put together yet another long drive, but yet they settle for 3 points.
Yep, and Honeycutt, they're leaving points in the field, Ron. You're right. They've left 8 points out there. Honeycutt's a captain of the special teams, along with Austin Woods, number 50 in the red jersey, the center, the deep snapper. Hodgkin's lymphoma last year, and in total recovery now. It's a heck of a story. Boomer Sooners out there for field goals now.
For Austin Woods had the Hodgkin's.
Yeah, so
Austin Woods. Well, I didn't want to make sure people didn't think Honeycutt had it.
No, I said Austin Woods, a deep snapper, who is the other captain on special teams. Both of those guys in that operation, the snapper and the kicker, are captains. And Austin Woods was a big inspiration to the football team when guys were struggling with 2 days and feeling tired and down. they said, I got nothing to complain about because look what Austin Woods is going through.
Yeah, I talked to him on Thursday. He says, I'm 100%. Started with just a sore throat. And he said, I said, were you scared? He goes, kind of hesitated. Ernie Johnson, of course, one of the great hosts of the NBA on another network, shall we say. He fought that and won it. And, it's just such an inspiration to see Austin and even players like the tight end for Louisiana Monroe, Harley Ciano, who fought testicular cancer. And again, we talk about that and take another look at Harley. I mean, last year he was also told he had cancer. Dave, that's just unbelievable for young men that age.
Lost over 25 pounds. And cancer is it's insidious. I mean, it's everywhere. Everybody on this earth must know somebody, either relative or friend, that has had to fight the fight.
Now Louisiana Monroe will take over. They've got 39 seconds from the 25-yard line. And they're probably just going to try to run it out as Jairus Edwards, the senior out of White Castle, Louisiana. And I don't know about you, Dave, I can't say White Castle without the stomach growling.
I hear you.
No offense. No offense,
Yeah, those are one-biters there. Just pop those babies like peanuts.
Holy cow, Big Mac's a one-biter for you. What are you talking about?
No, not. I can't handle a Big Mac in one bite. I had a teammate, though, defensive lineman, that ate 9 Big Macs in 27 bites.
Throw him on who was it?
Gary Burley, man. That guy can chow.
Well, Mike Stoops has to be happy, and Bob Stoops even happier because of their defense, because they did a great job in that first half, holding Louisiana Monroe to just 83 total yards. But the first 30 minutes of college football season in the books for Oklahoma. Our score at the half, OU 10, Louisiana Monroe nothing. After the break, we'll return live to Norman for all the halftime festivities. Oklahoma Sooner football is brought to you by OU Outreach. Working adults, get a degree you can be proud of from the University of Oklahoma Outreach. It's your degree. Go get it. By OU Medicine, health keeping you alive and well. And by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. Welcome back to Norman, Oklahoma. We are just moments away from the start of the third quarter. Scoreless first quarter. Oklahoma has 13 points in the second quarter, courtesy of 178 yards, 14 first downs, and it seemed like their defense kicked it up a notch. Their offense did what they had to do to get the lead.
Well, they had 178, and Louisiana Monroe had 32 yards in the second quarter. But, early in the football game, couldn't really get much done in the air. So Knight says, oh, heck, I'll just run it. Longest run of the game is 24-yard scamper right there on third down. Then they started pounding the ball inside after they had Louisiana Monroe pursuing inside out. Williams goes for 9 yards there. Clay gets involved with a 13-yard carry. First touchdown pass of Knight's career goes to Saunders. Good route, put the ball right on the money. And this was the biggest play, the most electrifying play of the first half. 21-yard scamper by Finch, but he ran about 75 to 100. Back and forth he went, serpentining, great vision, wasn't about to give up. Louisiana Monroe probably was like, are you kidding me? Man. Well, and here's some of the stats. Oklahoma dominating just about in every category. Look at third down, 1 for 7. And Louisiana Monroe, 1.6 yards per rush, a little over 3 yards per play. Oklahoma's defense bottled them up in every sense of the word. Look at the total yards, 226 to 83. Couldn't finish in the red zone. Left 8 points on the field, had to settle for field goals, but got on track in the second quarter for sure, Ron.
Well, the longest run for ULM in that first half was 5 yards.
Exactly.
That tells you a little bit something.
They only had 2 plays over 10 yards, both receptions. Cook for 11, Ham for 14. They had no plays of 20 yards or more. Zip.
Courtney Davis set to receive the kick from Nick Hodgson out of North Richland Hills, Texas. And needs a little help from the tee. Just a very good defensive performance, I think, by this Oklahoma Sooners. And also, what I think one of the stats that we didn't mention, the time of possession. One of the things ULM coaches told us, they had to win that time of possession. They've got to keep Oklahoma from getting the football. Weren't able to do it. They were minus 5 minutes.
Oklahoma ran 51 snaps to their 27.
Yeah.
I mean, they just kept the ball, and it definitely keep away. That's tracking for 102 plays. Wow.
That's a lot of football. And again, Hodgson just booms the kick. It'll come back out to the 25-yard line. That's where ULM will take over, and it was a tough first half for Colton Browning, the senior out of Maybank, Texas. I mean, he started out in the first quarter. We saw the patience that we had talked about. Second quarter, though, got a little dicey for him.
Yeah, it did, and I agree. I think Oklahoma's defense played well at every level. Defensive line and linebackers put on the pressure. The back end and linebackers covered the pass. I mean, there was nothing available.
Montrell Washington takes the first handoff of the second half, and he is stood up for a loss of 3.
Shannon just scraped over the top. Everybody played their gap responsibility well, and Shannon inside-out pursuit was excellent. They're tying up blockers and can't get Shannon cut off, and it's loss, tackle for loss.
Boy, Ben Reisenhoover just couldn't square up the shoulders to try to get Shannon. And it was a loss of 3. Second down and 13. ULM said they came in with a bigger game plan for a first game than they ever had because of the experience everybody had on offense.
Right, they expanded that game plan, but Oklahoma shut it down.
Browning into the flat. Pass is going to be called complete up to about the 28-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 6 on the play.
ULM went 5 receivers, trips right, and they had twins to the left, and Oklahoma's all over it. I mean, they can't even think about running the deep routes, and nothing but short to intermediate routes because the pressure from Oklahoma has been so quick and so authoritative.
Well, Teron Ham with his 3rd reception of the evening. ULM has missed their last 6 third down conversions. They need 6 on this one. Here comes pressure. Pass caught over the middle. That'll be a first down for the Warhawks. Up over the 35 to the 36-yard line. Tavares May with a reception.
Oklahoma in their 3-3-5 package once again, and they brought 5 out of it. And Browning knows, I got to get it out of my hand. It's a hot potato because they're coming. And first target that he saw available, he delivered.
And May with his 4th catch of the night. Browning looks over. Joined in the backfield by Washington, the senior out of Bryan, Texas. And now he moves over, and he's got it. Stood up. Maybe a pickup of about 2 on the play. The Sooner front 4, that was a big question mark. And Ndulue obviously not playing with a 1-game suspension. And everybody talked about there's no really one player on this defensive front that's had any experience, a lot of it, to say the least. But they've done a nice job today.
I think you tip your cap to Jerry Montgomery, the new defensive line coach, teaching great technique, footwork, hand placement has been outstanding.
Playing a lot of one gap now. Browning rifling the pass to the outside. Incomplete. Pass was intended for May.
Nice break on the football. Route recognition. And coming downhill is Zach Sanchez.
Redshirt freshman out of Keller, Texas, just west of DFW Airport. Keller, Texas, known for field goal kickers mainly and punters.
3rd and 7 or more favors the defense, Ron. See if Oklahoma can get off the field in this 3rd down conversion.
Browning now 12 of 21 for just 81 yards. He needs 7 for the first down. 4-man pressure. Browning just dumps it off.
Oh!
Picked off. Intercepted by Julian Wilson.
Boy, it went off the hands of Ciano. And, you know, turnovers are a big deal, Ron. Last year, Oklahoma had 13 interceptions, only forced 7 fumbles, and only recovered 3 of them. Fewest in school history. They get their first takeaway here. Ball behind Ciano a little bit. Tip drill. And defensive backs work on this every single day, every single practice. And he makes the nice play on the tip drill.
Now, Julian Wilson, his confidence grew in the spring. They call him a rangy defensive back. Playing that nickel slot, and he comes up with his first pick. And the Sooners take over on offense.
Short field, too.
Have to take advantage. They are in Warhawk territory. Knight straight drop, looks, has time over the middle. Pass caught inside the 30, down to the 27-yard line to Saunders.
Saying incomplete, Ron.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, the back official came in and waved it off. But that, honestly, was the best throw of the night for Knight. Look at the protection. He has vision, separation, throws a strike, and that ball is caught 9 times out of 10 or 99 out of 100 by Saunders. And that time, as he hit the ground, he couldn't hold on. You got to take it to the ground and secure it.
Clay and Miller now in the backfield. 7 of 22 for 42 yards throwing the football for Knight tonight. 2nd and 10. Knight keeps, gets a block, has the first down over the 35 down to the 30-yard line. Pickup of 17 on the play. So a 24-yard run in the first half for Knight, 17 on that one.
My man Trey Millard. Oh, chop block. See you later. Off to the races goes Knight. Millard comes in motion from the H-back position as a move guy and gets the key block on the perimeter. And Knight's off to the races.
69 yards rushing for Knight on 7 carries. 1st and 10, ball on the 30-yard line. Knight keeps it again, gets another block to the outside. He scampers out of bounds at about the 15-yard line.
Well, that time Millard said, I'll block you high this time, Cordero Smith. Last time I chopped you. This time I'm going to come in motion. I'm going to stay up top and hook you. Oh, unbelievable. Gets great position and Knight to the perimeter. That is what Trey Millard does for this football team.
Yeah.
Obliterates people in the running game and in pass protection. Best block on the team.
Yeah, we're also seeing Knight's running ability. 84 yards rushing the football this evening. 1st and 10 from the 15. Right up the middle, inside the 10, down to the 8-yard line. It's Clay.
Watch Millard on this one.
You like him, don't you?
Well, Ron, he's been the key blocker every time. Come in motion and trap. I mean, he's been on the perimeter, cutting guys and hooking guys. Come inside and get a trap block. Outstanding. Take the big defensive end to the ground. Oh, Gottney. Yeah, got on that one. And Millard is doing his job on this drive. It's been the Trey Millard blocking clinic.
Boy, it has been. He is a beast when you stand next to him. 6'2", 253 pounds. Bester in motion. They keep it on the ground, looking for pay dirt. Touchdown, Oklahoma.
Finch, or Clay, I should say, finishes it off. He gets the ball in his right hand. He gets it inside the pylon for the touchdown. Before any body part came out of bounds, the ball got inside the pylon. Again, good blocking. Millard gets another one on the edge. Clay takes it to the outside, extends the ball inside the pylon. He's in bounds. His left knee hits the pylon. It's all good. Touchdown, Oklahoma.
2nd touchdown of the night for the Sooners. Extending their lead, and they did it on the running of, again, Trevor Knight.
And the blocking of Trey Millard. I mean,
absolutely.
He blocked for the touchdown. He had a key block in every run in that series.
Honeycutt's extra point is good. 10 minutes and 42 seconds left to play in quarter number 3, and the Sooners strike, and they do it impressively. They lead at 20-0. We'll be back to Norman after this. With 10:42 left to play in quarter number 3, the Sooners have extended their lead to 20-0. Joining us now, the athletic director at the University of Oklahoma, starting his 16th year, my good friend, Joe Castiglione. Joe, I can't believe you've completed 15 years.
No.
We're about 17 years.
You're just trying to complete one at a time. And it's been a complete honor and privilege to be part of this program and to work with so many different people through those years to try to create this success that we've celebrated.
Well, one thing, you know, I look at the championships and I look at the conference titles, but what really stands out to me is the academic achievement that the Oklahoma athletic program has done.
I appreciate you pointing that out. We've had our best year in the history of our program, and the student athletes obviously deserve all the credit because they're focused, and the people that work with them to help put them in the right position in the right classes and follow through.
Joe, President, yourself, and Bob Stoops, the longest tenured trio in the NCAA. So that continuity and consistency of the leadership is huge, isn't it?
It really is, and we appreciate everything he has done to support all the initiatives that have helped our program move forward. Somebody, and I didn't come up with this, but somebody came up with this may be the BCS that lasts beyond this year, Bourne, Castiglione, and Stoops.
Oh, I like that.
Wow.
I like
How about
that's
that?
good. No, that's a bumper sticker.
That's stronger than new rope right there.
But it's, again, it's a collective efforts formula here at Oklahoma to try to be the best program we can be.
Well, you know, when I was reading about your career and how you met with not only the students but the deans when you took over, but the fact you've hired coaches of integrity. You look at Coach Kruger, you look at Sherry Cole, you look at Bob Stoops, you look at softball. No matter what coach you've hired, your standard isn't necessarily wins and losses, it's integrity, it seems.
Well, we want to be the model program that shows that you can win with class, with dignity, win at the top, win consistently. And we saw our softball team honored at halftime. And again, quality attracts quality. Those great coaches bring in the best and the brightest student athletes.
And you know, when I talked to Sherry Cole yesterday, we were talking about a recruiting class. She and Jan, they look at me and they said, we've got some good kids. And I said, good players? She goes, no, good kids. And that was very important for Coach Cole.
She's too young to be called an icon, way too young. But it's not hyperbole to use the word icon.
I agree.
When you think about Sherry Cole and what she has done to create such a following for women's basketball, but a model program for young girls that they want to grow up dreaming to be part of this program.
You know, we were talking about Trey Millard and the blocking job that he did on the last drive, and it was during a break, and I said, Joe, this kid's a stud. You said, in every sense of the word, on and off the field. Just high-quality kids you get in your programs, don't you?
He really is. And you know, he's been another guy that has stepped forward in that leadership position as he's grown and advanced through the classes. He's had good people around him. But Blake Bell, Trey, and Gabe Eichert all did study abroad this summer.
In Ireland.
How about that?
Yeah,
you know, and again, I want to give credit to President Bourne because he's helped create that opportunity for students in Oklahoma. They went to Ireland, others went to other places.
You know, Joe, as they punt, we're going to have to take a break, but Dave and I, we've known you ever since you took the job, and, you know, when we heard you were going to be on, Dave and I were excited because you're not only the athletic director, you've been a very good friend of ours every year since you've been athletic director.
Well, I appreciate it. Again, this program, in a sense, belongs to so many people. There are great people before us. Great tradition that was here, a great foundation, and for those of us that are here right now, we're just trying to build upon it and leave a legacy for the next group to follow.
Congratulations, my friend. Thank you. Another 15 15 years, hopefully.
Appreciate it, Ron. Good
All
to be
right,
with
Joe
you.
Castiglione, athletic director, and we'll return to Norman after this. Tonight's playbook is brought to you by Patriot Ford. Get a better deal from a better dealer at Patriot Ford. Better selection, better prices. Patriot Ford, I-35 at exit 90, 10 minutes south of Norman in the heart of Oklahoma.
The playbook, blocking playbook, Trey Millard. Watch him log the outside linebacker here. And Clay is going to read that block, logs him. Clay breaks to the outside. Touchdown. Extends that ball with the right hand inside the pylon. And Oklahoma's on the board.
I tell you what, I think Trey Miller, I think he's got a lot of fans around Sooner Nation. OU's poorest starting position. Ball is on the 6-yard line. We appreciate Joe Castiglione being part of our telecast, and I wasn't kidding. He's one of our good friends.
Oh, no doubt.
He's the best.
He's a good friend when he was at Missouri.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting a little bit of running room is Damian Williams. They're trying to strip the ball away from him, not going to do it, but he gets up over the 10 to about the 12-yard line.
Well, this, as a former lineman, this is where you get in the huddle and you say, you know what, we're backed up, but let's put him in the meat grinder. What's wrong with going, you know, 92 yards with the football? Nothing.
And they're just going to keep it on the ground again, tiptoeing down the sidelines, up over the 15, close to the 20-yard line. That'll be good for a first down. That's the strength of Williams.
Oh, he unloaded on Lane. And Williams, he just lowered that shoulder, dip a little bit. It's like a jab for a boxer. Boom. I mean, that's a thumper there. That's big time. Kid is explosive and powerful.
You know, you were talking, and we were talking before the game about how the offensive line of Oklahoma hit more weights this year, less sprinting. They want to be maulers up there.
Oh, they want to be like Trent Williams and Big Duke Robinson. They want to be that kind of line.
Light, little fake. Out in the flat. Pass is complete to Millard, and he just muscles his way up close to the 28-yard line.
Patience right there. Caught the football. Instead of stepping out of bounds, you know, he made the defender lose his leverage. Instead of allowing the defender to use the sideline as a 12th man, he let the defender sail by him, dipped up inside for extra yards after catch.
Now Miller, we're seeing the strength of him, and everybody keeps talking about him getting more and more touches. And I think that's going to come. There's not a question about it.
He's earned it.
Miller, Ripkowski, and Williams all in the backfield now with Trevor Knight.
The inverted wishbone.
I love it. Knight handoff straight ahead. It'll be close to the first down depending on where they mark it. Looks like they'll mark it short of the 30. The stick is right on the 30-yard line.
And we talked about the wear and tear of the first half on this defensive football team from Louisiana Monroe. 51 snaps they played. I mean, I'm not sure that you can get enough gas at halftime to refuel the tank. And you see frantically defensive coordinator Troy Reffett signaling the plays, but he needs bodies out there.
Now the Sooners have not been successful on their last third down attempt. Third down, they need just one. Monroe was 6 in the block box. Knight looks like a broken play, but he'll get the first down. Leaning over the 30-yard line. How about this? For Oklahoma, they've got 38 rushes and 23 passes. Whoever would have thought that Oklahoma would have more rush than pass?
Williams went on the wrong side. Reverse pivoted out. Williams went to the other way. And I'll tell you what, that's a heads-up and composed play by the quarterback. Knight, I'll hit the hole that the play's designed for. Don't go anywhere else. They're blocking for Williams. I'll follow Williams where he was supposed to go.
There you go. Knight this time drops straight back, steps away from the pressure, and they're going to corral him back at the 20-yard line.
Blake's nice effort. He stayed after it and finished it. They brought the middle linebacker on the blitz, and he's a determined guy. He got Eichert off the edge, and Knight was rolling to his right. Eichert didn't know where his quarterback was or was going, and linebacker took advantage of it. Cameron Blake's.
First sack of the night for either team. Blake's is one of those players that was injured last year versus Baylor, ended up getting a medical red shirt. He is the heart and soul of this defense. On second and long. He just keeps it, leans forward, gets close to yet another first down. Pickup of 17 on the play for Trevor Knight.
Patience, vision, awareness. Guy's got some scoot to him. I'll tell you, I don't know what his 40 time is, but he has got functional football speed. He just has another gear on the football field. He loses no speed when he's in pads. He carries his pads extremely well.
11 rushes, 93 yards. Dave, you're going to take Jazz Reynolds after the game and teach him how to block downfield.
Yeah.
No offense, Jazz.
He's 0 for 2 now.
Yeah, got to hit somebody, big guy. Third down, we'll call it just under 2 yards. Knight has to improvise. He does, but they're going to lose about 6 on the play. Finch tried to come up with it, and Knight wasn't sure what to do with it.
That was a great play by Finch because that's a lateral. That's a backward pass. If he doesn't catch it.
Rolling on the field was an incomplete forward pass.
They called it incomplete, but it's backwards.
That's
a backward pass.
Yeah.
So that instead of a forward, I mean, whatever, it helps them that they rule it an incomplete pass. He's throwing it behind them. And you know, you see Knight turn around and throw it behind his body, and they're calling it incomplete and punting it away.
The first punt since the first quarter for Oklahoma. Barnett's had a good night tonight. And he drives this one. Another fair catch is called for. Sooners have been outstanding on special teams the last couple of years, and they continue it this season. We've got a timeout. 4:39 left in the third. Sooners by 20. Drink responsibly, brought to you by Bud Light. It's the sure side of a good time. Here we go. Along with Chad McKee, Dave Lapham, I'm Ron Thulin. Welcome to Norman, Oklahoma. Scoreless first quarter, but the Sooners have been able to hang 20 on Louisiana Monroe since then. But since the first quarter, OU's defense has really stopped Louisiana Monroe.
The reason they've run 20 points on the board, Ron, Oklahoma's defense has allowed Monroe 2 first downs since the first quarter. And Monroe's defense, as a result, has been on the field for 64 snaps already.
Wow.
with 4 minutes and 38 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Colton Browning looks, throws, ball tipped away. Good defensive effort again by the Sooners. Zach Sanchez playing for Cortez Johnson. Sanchez has been in a lot of plays tonight.
Sanchez is saying, hey, I'm going to take advantage of my opportunity. You know what? If I get a chance to play, I'm going to provide tight coverage. I mean, he almost had to reverse roles there. He almost turned himself into the receiver, and the receiver had to play defensive back on that snap.
Now Devontae McNeil, the halfback, splits out wide to the left, and Browning again operating with an empty backfield. Sooners with only 3 down linemen. They bring 4. Oh. Browning's pass caught, but put down right away. That's the way you tackle.
Nice hit by Lynn. You talk about reading a route combination and knowing what to do, and a safety coming downhill like a linebacker and delivering a thump. Ball's out of Browning's hand, and Lynn is on top of the receiver immediately, if not sooner.
Textbook tackling. 3rd down. Monroe needs 7. Crowd starting to get into it. Timeout's going to be called by Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, first charge of the second half. Timeout on the field.
And as they take a timeout, so will we. Mike Stoops wants to talk about his defense. Sooners lead it by 20. Tonight's second half game summary is brought to you by WinStar World Resorts. WinStar, a whole new world of luxury. Let's take a look at our game summary for this evening so far, Dave.
Well, do you think Oklahoma has dominated the line of scrimmage, Ron? Yeah, by like 240 yards. Wow. And Knight has been a big contributor with 94 yards rushing, only 50 in the air. I think that will improve, but it has been an unbelievable performance by Mike Stoops' group. This defense has been stellar.
Now they're facing Louisiana Monroe, who's looking at 3rd and 7. Here comes the pressure. Browning steps up. Nice. Browning goes down at the 16. Great pressure again by Charles Tapper, the sophomore out of Baltimore, Maryland.
I'll tell you, Tapper's going to have a lot of offensive linemen tapping out of games because this kid comes every snap, and he won't quit. I mean, he'll separate from a block, and he can trace his steps in the pocket as fast as the quarterback. He moves laterally as fast as the quarterback does forward. Excellent effort. Considering this young man didn't even lift weights before he came to Oklahoma, was a basketball player. Athlete, yeah. Justin Minton, his 8th punt, and he's going to keep it. Tucks it, gets hit. He'll be short of the first down. Sooners have it on the 18. And Ron, that's a big thing for Louisiana Monroe. 4th down, they're so aggressive normally, but their offense has been stymied tonight. They're being shut out. Last year, they went 24 for 35 on 4th down, 69%. They have a 4th down chart. They try the fake punt on 4th down, backed up, and it backfires, and the Sooners are going to have a short field once again. Oklahoma has taken away a big part of Louisiana Monroe's strategy of making it a 4-down series. Clay comes up with a big play. Chad, you've got more on him.
Brendan Clay is the last of the 3 members of the Cali trio. That was Kenny Stills and Tony Jefferson, who are now in the NFL. But Brendan Clay on special teams. I think Tony Jefferson, a hard-hitting safety, would have been proud of the tackle that Brendan Clay just made right there.
Absolutely.
No doubt.
Knight keeps it. Nice play. Just dumps it off to Saunders. Touchdown, Oklahoma. Jalen Saunders' 2nd touchdown reception of the night. Just an unbelievably clever play. Naked bootleg. You've got Vincent Eddy in a sweat. Do I challenge the quarterback or do I stay in coverage? He was in no man's land, and he stayed in no man's land. And Knight manipulated him, and he just dumped it off to Sanders for a touchdown. But that naked bootleg action, changing the launch point, and they isolated Eddy, and Eddy was dead meat. You know, talking to the coaches, they say we've got to have great ball distribution, but we also have to put Saunders in a position where he does the most damage. He's done that tonight. Saunders having a great game, a couple of touchdown passes, or receptions, 3 catches total tonight. Well, we see the end of the play, but the scheme of the play was the whole thing. Yeah. Fake the run to the left, and it gets Louisiana Monroe going that way. Knight comes out all by himself on a naked bootleg,
nobody's there, Eddie's in trouble. He doesn't know whether to rush the quarterback or stay in coverage. He really gets caught doing neither, and Saunders catches the football for an easy touchdown. A great call by Josh Heupel. Watch this hard play fake. Run fake to the left. Louisiana Monroe bites. Out he comes Knight by his lonesome. And there's this wide open receiver. And you see, you almost feel bad. Michael Johnson at linebacker is also caught between a rock and a hard place. And just a good design and better execution.
Well, Trevor Knight with his second touchdown pass to Jalen Saunders out of Elk Grove, California. First game was Texas last year, and I tell you, he never looked back. It was a different team once he came on.
I got to give the coaches credit. They patiently stayed with Knight. He was struggling early in the game. Instead of putting the hook on him, they've been rewarded. He settled down. Offensive line started playing better. Running backs and receivers, and he's delivered.
Hodson's doing a nice job tonight. Nobody's able to return anything. Hey, Sooner fans, never miss another moment when you join Soonersports.tv, powered by Fox Sports. It's the ultimate access for the ultimate Sooners fans. Whether you want to watch it live, catch the game recap, or get the coach's perspective, Soonersports.tv has your key to the video vault. Sign up now, and we'll give you 3 months absolutely free. Log on to Soonersports.tv now and enter the code SoonerTV.
And, Ron, I think that's why Bob Stoops didn't pull him. He knew it wasn't just Knight.
Right.
And he didn't want to break the kid's confidence. If he pulled him, the kid would have been looking over his shoulder the rest of his career.
Well, we thought Blake Bell would see action tonight, and he probably still will. Pass is going to be incomplete. Browning trying to get something going. He prepares so well for a game. There's a good look at Blake Bell. And I'll tell you what about Blake Bell. Had a chance to talk to him Thursday. What a great attitude. Came in, fought for the position, didn't get the starting job. But as you and I watched him the last couple of days, he does almost like shadow boxing while Trevor Knight's taking the snaps.
He's taking mental and physical reps on every play. And, great attitude. Another unselfish football player.
Absolutely.
That's what's going to win a lot of games is the makeup of this football team.
Browning rolling left, throwing, just has to throw it away. Again, that Sooner pressure has been very good.
A guy like Trey Millard, Ron, he could go to the coach and say, hey, come on, I deserve more snaps than I'm getting touching the football. All he does is do the blue-collar work. Mm-hmm. And you have Bell saying, okay, that's your decision. I'll live by it, and I'm going to do everything I can to keep myself ready, because Bell is one snap away from being the quarterback. If, God forbid, Knight gets injured, Bell steps in, and he is going to be ready. This kid is the real deal.
Absolutely. And it's 3rd down and 10 as we go inside of 3 minutes left in the third. Here comes pressure. Browning just has to dump it off. Sooners giving chase. Not anywhere close to the first down. Barely getting back to the line of scrimmage. Nice job again by that converging OU defense led by Frank Shannon.
3rd down has been just brutal for Louisiana Monroe. And they're a good 3rd down team normally. Oklahoma's defense was #1 in the Big 12 in 3rd down defense last year. That has been a constant, a staple for them. They have been dominant in 3rd down tonight. You win on 3rd down, you win time of possession, you win turnovers, you win the game, and Oklahoma's winning all 3.
Justin Matten's going to have to ice down the leg going back to Monroe. Another punt. Here comes Saunders. Tries to get away. Tiptoes down the sideline. Breaks through. Has some running room. Over the 30. Still on his feet. Inside the 20-yard line. 45 yards on the return for Jalen Saunders.
And one final thing that Oklahoma's dominating now is field position.
Yeah.
They've had 3 short fields in the second half, and that's the shortest of them all. Louisiana Monroe went for it on 4th down, didn't convert. Short field touchdown. Saunders sets him up for another short field score potentially with this outstanding punt return. And not only his ability, but his blockers. They form a wall for him. He gets to that spot and starts picking up his wall, and he's off to the races.
Well, he averaged almost 18 yards a return on 5 punt returns last season. Of course, he had that 81-yard return for a touchdown. Sooners were great on special teams last year. We've got a player down at about the 34-yard line.
Louisiana Monroe player is down, yeah.
As we take a look at Saunders again, a little spinning move, and he's getting the block. Look at Clay looking for somebody to hit.
And everybody's finishing plays, which is another good sign.
Yeah. Saunders can smile. He's had a great night tonight.
And boy, what a lot of football has been played by that young man. You saw Michael Johnson was the linebacker that kind of got isolated on that touchdown on the naked bootleg that Saunders made. And here he is covering a punt after having to play all those snaps to defense. Looks like the way he's holding that left arm, looks like it may be a shoulder issue. A lot of times when you're holding your arm like that, you have some issues up in that shoulder area.
Well, but the Sooners will have the ball in great field position again. Ball is on the 20-yard line. Let's see if Trevor Knight goes for the big tater right off the bat. Finch goes in motion. They look for Finch. They hit Finch. Finch stutter steps inside the 15-yard line, spun around, and that's where he'll go down.
We used to call this type of situation snake eyes. When you have a turnover, you go out in the field and you go for the quick strike. And we had design plays and a sequence of design plays to really, pressure the defense and stress the defense. And I'm sure Oklahoma's got the same mindset. Bob Stoops wants to finish this bad boy.
The Sooners are 4 of 4 in the red zone tonight. Knight keeps it. Needs a block. Goes to the outside instead, and he's run out of bounds at the 13-yard line.
Well, Millard had to make a decision. So he didn't want to run by a white jersey. He took the inside defender, and the outside defender was there that Knight had to handle one-on-one. Watch number 33, Millard. He's going to turn it up inside, takes the inside defender, and at that point, you're one-on-one on the perimeter, and that's just a good defensive play right there by Lewis, who's been the surest tackler on the football field for Louisiana Monroe. He continued to use the sideline as a 12th defender and never lost leverage on Knight.
So instead, it's 3rd down and 3 inside of 50 seconds left in the third. Knight, straight drop, plenty of time, looks down the middle, throws, touchdown, Oklahoma. McGuire, who had 1 touchdown reception last year, gets his first of 2013.
Ron, he's got the biggest hands. His hands are like pillows with suction cups on them. They're soft and they're big. And he is going to make a statement. He's feeling much more confident with the offense, and a play like that will up his confidence level dramatically.
Well, McGuire has been taken under the wing by Jalen Saunders. Saunders says McGuire's kind of like my little brother right now, because McGuire is considered a dynamic player, and a lot of people feel this is going to be a great year for him. Extra point is good.
Saunders is a great mentor from a work ethic standpoint. You just don't go out and play on Saturday. How do you get yourself ready mentally and physically all week long? Saunders is showing McGuire how to do that. And a nice, look at the protection, the separation and vision Knight has. Not only is he rushed, he's not rushed, I should say, he basically has space. He's not thrown out of a hole, and he can scan the whole field, and he puts it right on the money for McGuire.
How about Knight so far tonight? The stats are improving ever since that first quarter. 11 of 27 now, 86 yards, 3 touchdown passes. But it just seems like he's playing with more confidence when he throws the football now.
I agree, Ron. The thing about him that I like, first quarter adversity, he didn't go in the tank.
Right.
He sucked it up and stayed after it and never panicked. That's another good sign. And I think for that reason, and other things started developing better around him, Bob Stoops showed patience. And I think Knight is going to respond to that, and he already has. I mean, all of a sudden he's got, 3 touchdown passes now?
Yep, he's got 3. His high school coach was David Wetzel at Ronald Reagan High School in San Antonio. He was a Reagan Rattler, so I guess you can say that Knight has struck tonight. Okay, that was weak. I'm sorry, Dave. Right? No, that was
I'm
weak.
with you. I feel you.
Okay, the truck just said it's night and day from the first one.
Oh, okay. There you go.
That's good.
I like that, too.
Okay, it's hot. We'll check in with Chad. Chad, no more bad jokes, okay?
Okay, I promise,
thank
Ron.
you.
And it is hot down here, but cooling off. The OU softball team was honored at halftime here. 2nd national championship of the Patty Gasso era. One of the premier coaches in college softball is Patty Gasso. They wrapped it up, went 57-4 this year, guys. Keilani Ricketts, the two-time National Player of the Year. She's the pitcher and designated hitter for the Sooners. And Lauren Chamberlain, their All-American first baseman, clubbed 30 home runs. They'll be a force to be reckoned with again next year because Lauren Chamberlain comes back with her 30 home runs. But that was a wonderful setting just up the road at the Softball College World Series in Oklahoma City. And a pretty wonderful night so far for Sooner fans tonight.
Isn't Keilani Ricketts, isn't she the Babe Ruth of softball?
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
I could hit her. I know I could, man.
It's 57-4. Wow.
That's
man,
incredible. Now, Caesar makes the reception as Browning. That was probably his best pass of the evening. And that was good for a first down for Louisiana Monroe, trailing 34-0, closing seconds of the third. Browning just has to dump it in the flat. And that'll go incomplete with 8 seconds left. Sooners defense has been very, very good. Well, and they have won 23 straight games, Dave, when holding opponents under 20 points.
Wow, that's strong. And they're pitching a shutout against Browning. Who would have thought, Ron, that Browning's 37th start could end in a shutout, and Knight's first start could end up with 3 touchdown passes. Oh, what a night.
Okay, we're not done yet, I guess. Okay. Second down, pickup of about 2 on the play, and that'll be the end of quarter number 3. But an impressive quarter for the Oklahoma Sooners. 21 points on the board. Quarterback Trevor Knight throwing. The running has been outstanding. The defense has been good. We'll take a break. Fourth quarter straight ahead from Norman after this. Oklahoma Sooner football is brought to you by your Oklahoma Ford dealers. Don't miss the Ford Summer Spectacular featuring blockbuster deals now playing at your local Oklahoma Ford dealer. By the Sooner Game Day app. Get the Sooner Game Day app with video highlights, game recaps, and more. Download the season today on Google Play. And by Soonersports.com. Sooner fans gear up for the season with official gear from shop.Soonersports.com. Welcome back inside of Memorial Stadium in Norman, Oklahoma, along with Chad McKee and Dave Lapham. I'm Ron Thulin. 34-0 is our score, and you can see the Sooners and the Warhawks scoreless after the first. OU only 13 in the second, but then open it up in the third as we begin the fourth and final stanza. Browning's pass is incomplete on third down, and they'll have to kick it away again. Rashawn Caesar, the intended receiver.
2 for 13 on third down is Louisiana Monroe now, Ron. That is unbelievable.
Yeah.
When you look at how proficient this offense has been with a quarterback the caliber of Colton Browning.
They were 47% last year on third down, and again they're going to have to kick it away. And Saunders electrified the crowd after his last return, and again Manton for the punt, number 9 of the evening.
His right leg's about 2 inches longer than his left right now.
Saunders, this time he fair catches it at about the 13. Hey, Sooner fans, never miss another moment when you join Soonersports.tv, powered by Fox Sports. It's the ultimate access for the ultimate Sooner fans. Whether you want to watch it live, catch the game recap, or get the coach's perspective, Soonersports.tv has your key to the video vault. Sign up now, and Dave Lapham will give you 3 months absolutely free. All you got to do is log on to Soonersports.tv now and enter the code SoonerTV.
I love it.
It's like the Mr. Underhill's American Express card number, right? From Fletch. We'll give you Dave's. First and 10 for the Sooners. Ball on the 13-yard line. Knight still in at quarterback. And he keeps it again. Up to the 20-yard line for Knight. And that'll put Knight over 100 yards rushing this evening.
He was at 105, but he had lost 9 yards on some carries. Now he's back up over 100 again and averaging almost 8 yards a lug.
That'll work. And they'll just keep it on the ground, and you can see a shoe comes flying off.
Man, he blew a tire.
Yeah, he did. He just snapped that bad boy. And Fitch is going to have to get another one.
Going to take a pit stop.
Good look at Cale Gundy, former OU quarterback, and now work with the running backs, Jay Norvell. On the right side there, one of the great offensive lines, and he's either the decoy or he's the actual signal giver. Knight 13 rushes, 103 yards.
And then Oklahoma's 7-14 on third down. This is a makeable one.
Penalty flag comes flying out, and they'll get the first down, but we've got 2 flags.
Now, the first one is either lining up offside or an illegal formation. Let's see what the first one is.
Legal shift on the offense. 2 men moving, not resetting. That penalty's declined. Holding, offense. Number 68, 10-yard penalty. Third down.
Bronson Irwin called for the hold.
That's not good to have 2 penalties on the same play offensively. Bob Stoops isn't liking that one iota.
That's only the second penalty on Oklahoma, but we're going to give Bronson Irwin a little, we're going to give him a break on this. The senior out of Mustang, Oklahoma, just west of Oklahoma City. He was part of the Moore relief effort that you've heard a lot about tonight, and he, along with a bunch of OU players, going on helping the folks in Moore, Oklahoma. So Bronson, we like what you did, but quit grabbing on the guys.
Yeah, that's a character guy right there.
Absolutely.
He also plays right tackle as well as right guard, so he's got a little bit of a position diversity to him.
Well, again, the Sooners facing third down. Now it's backed up 11. Knight going deep, throwing over the top, caught. First down, Oklahoma. No, they're going to say, are they going to call it incomplete?
They're going to
say he was down. So Matwire comes up with a catch. It's Oklahoma's football, but that will be reviewed.
Yeah, it'll be reviewed. Now, did he catch it and come down in full control of the ball? The officials are saying it was a catch and he was down. Louisiana Monroe came away with the football, but you talk about the throw. He dropped a dime. Catch, reception, down with the elbow, and then the ball comes out late. That's a good call.
That's a good call.
Ruling on the field is the receiver did not complete the catch. Incomplete pass.
Oh. So they're saying Cordero Smith doesn't get an interception, actually forced fumble.
Well, if it was an incomplete pass, it should have been an interception.
Yeah, the ball never hit the ground.
Never hit the ground.
And if it's his elbow's down and they really got possession and he's down, it should be a catch. So basically, they're doing the one thing that I think it shouldn't be of the 3 possibilities.
They're showing it on the big screen here at the stadium, and
it's
as
being
you can
looked
imagine,
at.
the booze, yeah.
Yeah, it's being looked at. It's being reviewed right now. Now, did he have full possession when he came down? His elbow hit down. Watch Matwire. Catch. Goes down. Watch the right elbow.
The knee's down first.
Knee and elbow, and then the ball's ripped out. So if it's a catch, it's a forced fumble. If he didn't complete the catch, it's an interception.
Ruling on the field was incomplete.
Because the ball never hit the ground. I think the official thought that the ground caused the ball to come out. I'm not sure that's the case.
Well, ground cannot cause a fumble in college football, obviously.
It can cause an incompletion.
It caused an incompletion.
They called it incomplete.
Yeah.
So that's what they thought they saw. They thought they saw the ground cause the ball come out, and that's an incompletion.
Well, let's go back to the throw, though, because Trevor Knight in that first quarter, his long passes weren't all that great. You nailed it. He dropped a dime on this bad boy.
He did. But Matwire on that one, his other arm knocked the ball out. This one doesn't show it as well, but his right arm knocked the ball out of his left arm as he goes to the ground. His right arm, he's got the ball tucked. His right arm will knock the ball out of his left arm. It never hits the ground. It hits his other arm, and it comes out, and it's ripped out. So it's either a catch and he's down, or it's an interception. But if it's interception, that's a tough deal because Cordero Smith was going off to the races. So going to be interesting to see how this is ruled. I think it's a catch, and the ball is spotted down Matwire right there. Watch his other arm. Watch his right arm. The ball lands on his right arm. Never hits the ground. His right arm and Cordero Smith ripping it out caused the ball to come out of possession of Matwire. Yeah. Nothing to do with the ground.
Once again, a catch of a football is a process, and the receiver has to complete that process. Now, you and I have been through the officials clinics that Walt Anderson, the head of officiating for the Big 12, NFL official, and one of the all-time great guys. These guys got a tough job.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been through it. I've taken the test. I told Walt this is the first time in 4 years I actually passed the officials test.
Well, that call right there, I can see why the official thought the ground caused the incompletion. And they're looking at this at replay, changing it to an interception because it never did hit the ground. And it's unfortunate because the inadvertent whistle stopped Cordero Smith from maybe taking it a good distance back the other way. But he did have possession, and the ground didn't cause him to lose possession, so therefore it's a completion. and then the ball's ripped out of there. I guess they said he never had full possession, and Smith took it away, and they're calling it an interception, but the ground was never an issue on it. So one of the two things we thought were going to happen did happen, not an incompletion, but they ruled it an interception, not a reception.
Well, we've been told that it's going to be called an interception, but the officials are still meeting at the 15-yard line. And for Cordero Smith, the junior out of Garland, Texas, just outside of Dallas, he had an interception last season. It could be his first of this year. This is a defense, Louisiana Monroe, 16 interceptions last season, best in the conference. But when you talk to the defensive coaches, they said, but we overall weren't that good.
Right, the pass defense could improve. The thing that they're looking at now, too, is when Smith came up with the interception, did McTwire touch him when he was down with the football?
Right.
So, and was he down with the football with possession? If he had possession on the ground in college football, if your knee or whatever is down, you're down. You can't, in the NFL, you can get up and return the thing. So let's see. I mean, Smith's on his backside, and he gets possession of the football. He probably gets the ball right there.
Completed the catch away from the offensive player, so Louisiana Monroe will take possession of the ball at the 43-yard line.
Right. They're going to rule it at that spot.
I think that's a correct call. After looking at the replay, I think they did a great job. I don't think Oklahoma will agree with that.
Needs to be set.
McTwire thinks he was down with full possession, but I don't know. Boy, that ball was moving around a little bit.
And just to go through the mechanics, they weren't only looking at that, Dave. They were also looking at the time on the clock. So they had a lot of things to do.
Sure.
We're going to take a break. Bob Stoops. They turn the ball over. Louisiana Monroe has it. We come back. This copyrighted telecast is the property of the University of Oklahoma. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, reproduction, or other dissemination or use of this telecast or any part of it without the express written consent of the University of Oklahoma is prohibited. And if you do that, we're going to say send Trey Millard to your house. Blake Bell beginning to warm up on the sideline, and I think we may be able to see him here in a few minutes.
He's warmed up a few times during the course of the game, but circumstances now dictate with a 34-point lead. Let Bell knock some rust and dust off.
Absolutely. Browning's going to stay in there. Pass is incomplete.
And as he has had to do all night long, he's bobbing and weaving back there. The pocket has broken down quickly for him on occasion, and Eric Stryker, as he's done on multiple occasions this evening, is the guy that applied the pressure. I really like Stryker.
Yeah.
He's got a great body lean on his pass rush. He's got good hands. He can really dip that shoulder. He gets the edge on people. He's got a bright future.
He was 198 pounds. Now he's close to 220.
Good
and the
training
coaches just talked about him a lot. Browning's pass is complete in Sooner territory down to the 48-yard line. Pass is caught by Jerron Ham.
Good coverage by Sanchez, but the ball was thrown perfectly to the back shoulder. This ball is thrown right to the spot where only the receiver can make a play on it. Good execution right there. Not bad defensive coverage whatsoever.
Ham's a big target at 6'4", 233. He's got 4 catches tonight. Browning goes back to work. Clock inside of 13 minutes left to play in this ball game. Browning, the quick drop, quick shot. And they'll be able to pick up about 3 on the play. Again, going right back to Jerron Ham. 5 receptions so far this evening.
Yeah, that's just pitch and catch right there. It only picked up 3-4 yards. It's almost like an extension of your running game. You know, you rise up and throw one out quickly to the perimeter when you have man coverage out there.
2nd down and 7. Here comes some pressure. Browning goes over the middle. That'll be a 1st down for the Warhawks.
Oh, they throw the flag. Tried to pull off the contact on Browning, but the flag is thrown, and disappointment registered
Personal
right
foul.
there.
Unnecessary roughness on the defense. Hit the quarterback in the helmet.
Yeah, Gabe Lynn, as he goes by the quarterback, hits him in the head. Watch, or actually not Gabe Lynn, right there. Well, that was just a bad decision, Julian Wilson.
Yeah.
To bring the right hand out there and say, hey, you feel me? I'm right around you. I know what he was trying to do, establish his presence, but you cannot hit the quarterback in the dome.
Not anymore.
No.
And it can be serious. You know, any contact above the shoulders you're risking a lot.
Mike Stoops doesn't like that. That's the second big penalty. 15-yarder. Tapper had one in the first half.
First time in the red zone for the Warhawks. Browning looks, goes deep into the corner of the end zone, incomplete. Intended again for Ham.
And the best defensive player on the football team, Aaron Colvin, in coverage right there, had perfect position. And Colvin is just about everything you want in a cornerback. I mean, body type, his technique. He's a willing tackler. Again, probably third or fourth round pick if he came out early, decided to play that senior year, and I think he'll be a first round choice. Good move.
Second down and 10 from the 19-yard line. This time they'll try to run it, handing it off to Devontae McNeil. He gets close to the 15-yard line. That'll bring up a third down situation.
Well, they haven't been in the red zone very often, Ron, but one of the times they're in the red zone early in the game, Harley Ciano had a huge offensive pass interference penalty that took them out of the red zone, and they ended up getting no points out of it. So can't afford any penalties once you get in the scoring zone.
Well, we know they're going to go for it on fourth down. They just want to make that fourth down probably manageable right now if they can't get the first.
Down 37 zip. It's four-down territory everywhere now.
Browning alone in the backfield. Sooners showing like they're bringing pressure, and here they come. Browning reads it, throws it, and that's going to be incomplete. Running out of the back side of the end zone is Rashawn Caesar.
Browning,
I tell you what, that was a pretty good pass, though, considering he had that kind of pressure on him.
Yeah, and he's disappointed in keeping on the field of play. But the reason this incompletion occurred is that right there. Coming off the edge is our main man, and I'm talking about this pass rusher extraordinaire, Eric Stryker.
Monroe. First charge of the second half.
Stryker caused that incompletion, made Browning throw the ball off the field of play.
Now, Browning's had a tough night tonight, but he's facing fourth down. When we come back with 11:01 to play in the ballgame. To the strains of Sweet Caroline by Neil Diamond. Sooners lead at 34-0 along with Jed McKee and Dave Lapham. I'm Ron Thulin. Good to have you with us tonight. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh when I hear that song.
Parents, see what those thousands of dollars of education funds do?
Can't say I ever,
kids are having fun.
I ever painted myself, you know? Not knowingly. Third down, fourth down and 7. Ball's on the 16-yard line for Louisiana Monroe. Browning all alone again in the backfield. Three wide receivers to the right, and now the Sooners want to talk about it.
Second charge of the second half. 30-second timeout.
There's no way that Mike Stoops does not want to pitch a shutout. He wants to execute on fourth down, get off the football field, and let his offense take another shot. And he's talking about it right now.
I'll tell you, he had a lot of criticism at the end of last year, but nobody criticizes Mike more than Mike does. We've known Mike a long time, and his standards are extremely high. He said, we've got to be more diversified on defense this year. We've got to disguise our coverages better on defense. You know, knowing Mike the way you and I do, and I'll tell you, he does not like losing, period.
He blames nobody but himself.
Absolutely.
There's no question.
On fourth down, Browning is scrambling, looking, throwing, and he's going to have to throw it away, and the Sooners will take over the football.
How about that? And once again, fittingly, is taken to the turf, and pressure coming that time from Frank Shannon, linebacker. I mean, the blitzes have been there. This 3-3-5 configuration that Mike Stoops is using is going to pay dividends this season. Shannon just takes him to the ground unceremoniously. You can get hurt, and actually, Browning looked like he was hurt a little bit. He's rolling over and in a little bit of pain. When you get hit like that in your throwing motion and hit the ground, he's going to be a sore guy when he wakes up in his dorm tomorrow. He'll be in a jacuzzi for sure.
And one of the keys that the coaches were telling us, they've got to keep him healthy. His freshman year, he hurt his foot. He broke his sternum his sophomore year. Last year, they were 6-0 in the Sun Belt until he got hurt. Then they lost a couple of games, so they've got to keep Browning healthy.
Blake Bell checks in, Ron.
Yeah, they're just going to keep the running game going. Oh, that had to hurt. Just straight ahead running by Keith Ford, the young freshman.
I think they got holding on the Sooners.
Holding. Offense, number 54. 10-yard penalty. First down.
So we're going to see a lot of the young guys now. Keith Ford, one of them. We'll probably see Alex Ross running the football.
Neela Kasatat T is the guy that was holding right there. I can tell you one thing. This guy has the biggest calves I've seen. He's had himself a good camp. And he tore an ACL last year. He's good. Look at that foundation. That's a good base right there.
He is. And when he takes off his helmet, the hair goes all over the place. It is amazing. Blake Bell backed up by Ford. 1st and 18. Ford up the middle, takes a hit, still on his feet, gets close to the 15-yard line. They'll mark him down at about the 14-yard line.
True freshman.
Yeah.
And put together. When I watched him in practice yesterday, I'm like, okay, who's that kid? Because they didn't have numbers on. They said, that's Ford. I said, the true freshman? And Bob Stoops goes, yeah, he's put together. He's going to have to play.
Yeah, well, he's one of the top-rated running backs in Texas last season. Gene Johnson, who was his coach at Cypress, Texas, said he's the best, period, he's ever been around. Bell looks. He's going to keep it. He's got running room. Up over the 20, the 25. First down, Oklahoma.
I'll tell you what. That's a belldozer with gears. I mean, he can shift gears. And here they are on the sideline trying to get the horn blowing there on the big guy. Bell tucks it, takes it to the perimeter.
Changes arms. Did you notice that?
Yeah, he's lost some weight since last year.
He is absolutely solid. Pass is complete to Austin Bennett.
Bring that big old horn. Semi out in space. The belldozer. I'll tell you, that's how close this football team is, though. Good friends.
Absolutely. Boy, I tell you what, the Oklahoma running backs are dealing some punishment. Now that is Keith Ford again.
Knocked the helmet off almost. I mean, almost the double chin strap almost totally dislodged. Lower the shoulder, boom. Tell you, and it did come off. He did dislodge the helmet.
How about 1,860 yards rushing last year for Ford?
Defense helmet came off.
24 yards, 24 touchdowns last season.
L.J. Moore has to exit the field. His helmet came off, and it's see you later. Alex Ross checks in.
And Ross now behind Blake Bell. Bell, the junior out of Wichita, Kansas. 24 rushing touchdowns last season. And they're just going to straight ahead run the football.
Stay in bounds.
And Ross does. Oh, we got a penalty.
Yeah, he took a late shot, slammed the late forearm in there to a Louisiana Monroe defender, and that's a penalty you can't have, particularly in front of your own bench with the coaches staring at you.
Absolutely. And we'll listen in for the call.
Is he ejected?
After the runner gained a first down, unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense.
He threw the forearm. Yeah.
15-yard penalty, first down.
Well, he's probably ejected from with Bob right now. You know.
Here's the shot. He just takes a shot right to the helmet, right to the face mask with the left hand, just stones him, and.
That's just not smart.
Yeah, and Bob Stoops did say, grab some pine.
And maybe be on the pine the rest of the game. Yeah, we've got movement. So Keith Ford's had to come back in.
On the offense, number 74.
You know, let me tell you something, folks. You're up 34-0. There's only 8:43 left. You've got the game pretty much in hand because of your defense. This infuriates coaches.
No question. And the guys getting penalties in the offensive line are contributors. I mean, guys that have played the whole game. Shed gets called that time. You can't lose your concentration, can't lose your focus. Bob Stoops does not like sloppiness. There's no reason for it.
And West Virginia, of course, coming to town next week, and that can be seen on Fox Sports. Charles Davis, Gus Johnson. How about breaking through again and spinning around is Keith Ford. Ford showing us a little bit of running ability.
Yeah, he's legit. There's no question about it. And he's built now. He must have been a man amongst boys in high school because he does not look like he's out of place. The game is not too big for him at this level in the Big 12.
I don't think it is either. On second down, we'll call it about 8. Bell will put it up. Steps up in the pocket. Tries to get away, and he's going to be corralled back at the 35-yard line. Loss of 2 on the play. Let's take a look at this Oklahoma schedule, because obviously next week, Dana Holgorsen, that potent West Virginia offense, comes to town. And then Bill Blankenship and company from the Tulsa Hurricane had a very disappointing loss this past week against Bowling Green. But Cody Green, their quarterback, former Nebraska quarterback, will make an appearance here.
And then Notre Dame. That's going to be a big one.
How about back-to-back-to-back as far as ranked opponents?
Yep.
That's a tough schedule there.
That's Murderer's Row right there. That's the trifecta.
Lost last year to Notre Dame 30-13.
They come here, though. Instead of having to travel up there to South Bend, they have to come to Norman. How about there's not 2 programs with more tradition and history than Oklahoma and Notre Dame squaring off. That's going to be exciting.
Well, actually, they have to go to Notre Dame this year.
Oh,
yeah.
They're up at South Bend.
Yeah,
okay.
Notre Dame beat them here. And here's Jed Barnett again.
Oh, shanked it.
A little shank, but it may turn out pretty good for him. And it does. And it'll be out of bounds at about the 11-yard line. It'll go down as a 54-yard kick. There are no style points in punting. Louisiana Monroe has it. We come back. OU Medicine presents tonight's What a Player. OU Medicine helping keep you alive and well. That is, of course, unless you meet Trey Millard on the football field, Dave.
Well, you look at Trey Millard, I mean, averaging, just 5 yards per touch. But this is what he does so exceptionally well. Take him down, young man. Boom, take him to the turf. Make that spare. Take another one down. Oh, there goes another pin. And then contain and finish. Finish. Good job. And why don't you get yourself another cut block. And then on this one, knock him around and let Clay get inside, outside. And here, get yourself a double. 1, 2. Why not? I'm telling you, Trey Millard, hats off to you. Blue collar, outstanding football player. And as we saw, the final thing, intangibles, off the charts. This guy is what it's all about.
Great instinct by that young man.
Totally unselfish. Plus, he's played a bunch of special team snaps tonight.
1st and 10 from the 11-yard line for Louisiana Monroe, and they'll try to run the football. Looks like Braille Brown has checked into the lineup, the sophomore from not too far from here, Shawnee, Oklahoma. Braley, high school career, he threw for over 4,000 yards, rushed for 1,000 yards receiving. He threw 63 passes last season, and I guess Colton Browning, they're saying, wait a minute, we still have the Sun Belt Conference to come up. We've got the rest of our schedule, and not going to take a chance of him getting hurt with 6.5 left. So Braley Brown of Shawnee, Oklahoma in the lineup now. I'm sure he's got some relatives here.
I agree.
Handoff over the right side. Washington gets close to the 20-yard line. That'll be about 1.5 yards short of the first down. Clock continues to run as we near 6 minutes.
Browning obviously dejected on the sideline. He's battered and bruised for sure, but not unbowed. 20 of 39 with an interception, 128 yards, and only sacked once, but hit numerous times.
Yeah. And that takes its toll.
No doubt. I mean, you hit the quarterback, a half a dozen times and pressure him consistently. Hard to execute.
Now, the first quarter was a good one for Louisiana Monroe. Looks like they were moving the football, but since then they haven't done a whole lot on offense. And the Oklahoma defense on 3rd down, led by Corey Nelson, stands up Washington.
Ron, let me put a bow on Mr. Miller if I can for a second. Right there, big old number 33. If he were just a fullback, he'd have a problem in the NFL because fullback's a dying breed. They only play like 20% of the snaps. But he can play fullback, tight end, H-back, every special team.
Right.
He has got so much versatility and diversity in his position abilities. He'll be around the league a long time.
Now, Sterling Shepard now back to receive the kick. Justin Manton, this is punt number 10. Oof. And it's a good one. Shepard backing up to the 35-yard line. Fair catch called. And that's where the Sooners will take over. We've got 4 minutes and 44 seconds left to play in this football game. Sooners opening up 2013 with a win. Bob Stoops on the verge of winning his 150th game. They lead at 34-0. And our play of the game is presented by OU Outreach, working adults. Get a degree you can be proud of from the University of Oklahoma Outreach. It's your degree. Go get it.
How about Roy Finch? Starts to the right, and then that little jump cut, which got him going to the left. So he's run about over 50 yards already, and then he decides to serpentine back the other way, and the football field is over 50 yards wide. That jump cut right there I do on the treadmill every morning, and he broke it out in the game tonight. This kid, watch this jump cut. Woo! Airborne, wow. Jumps about 3 or 4 yards laterally and pulls away from the defender. That's an athlete right there.
And when you look at Roy Finch, the word maturity comes into play. Was a great runner 2 years ago. Didn't do a whole lot. Kind of fell out of favor last year. I think they're going to be utilizing him a lot more. Bell has the pass complete. Bell obviously getting playing time. Trevor Knight, his day is done. Pass was complete. Deron Neal, the sophomore out of St. Louis, Missouri. A lot of Sooner players getting their first action tonight.
Ty Darlington in at center. He played a little bit of center last season when Eichert had an injury issue.
Ty Darlington, the roommate of Trevor Knight. Bell's pass again. Incomplete. Again intended for Neal. Ty Darlington, the sophomore out of Apopka, Florida. Dad was his high school coach. You know, when Eichert was hurt in the Baylor game, Darlington came in and played extremely well. They like Ty Darlington as the backup.
Yeah, he's gonna be the heir apparent, and it's gonna be the battery of Darlington to Knight. They're best buds and roommates, and they got a bright future here in Norman, Oklahoma.
Got second down and 10. Straight ahead handoff to Keith Ford. And I got a feeling we won't see Alex Ross anymore.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I wonder when we will see Alex Ross again.
I know. I got a funny feeling he's going to be doing some extra laps or push-ups or sprints.
Yeah, I mean, you certainly can't lose your poise and composure like that. I mean, if somebody upsets you, take it out on the next snap in a legal fashion. Don't put your team in jeopardy. That's a selfish thing to do.
That's absolutely right. Closing inside of 3.5 minutes. Third down and 8 for the Sooners. Blake Bell in at quarterback. Joined in the backfield by Keith Ford.
Timeout, Oklahoma.
And we've got a timeout.
Second half. 30-second timeout.
You know, I mentioned the fact that Bob Stoops is 8 wins away coming into this game from tying Barry Switzer for the most wins in Oklahoma history, and tonight will be win number 150. That sounds pretty good, but when you put it up against everybody else, it is very, very impressive, Dave.
How quickly he has gotten to 150 wins. I mean, that's it'll be 150 wins in 187 games. When you are at a school like Oklahoma and win over 80% of your football games, and you have 10-win seasons in your first 14 years, that's consistency of excellence. I mean, to get, 1 year like that is one thing, but to, climb the ladder of success is one thing. But to stay on the top of the ladder of success and not fall back down it, like he has for over a decade, is remarkable.
Well, Barry did it in 16 years. Sorry, Barry. Just thought I'd mention that. Hand off to Ford, left side, looking for the first down, and he's got it, and then some, but a flag comes flying in.
Yeah, it's going to be another holding penalty. It's going to nullify that nice effort, but it doesn't diminish the outstandingness of Ford.
Offense, number 56, 10-yard penalty, third down.
In fairness to Barry, though, there were fewer games played per season when Barry was coaching, so let's take a look at the right there. You have the tackle, you have the grab, and was that Darlington that took his man down inside? It was Darlington as he was trying to continue to sustain contact with the nose.
How about this, Dave? Over the past 5 seasons, only Alabama with 61, Oregon with 56 have won more games than that man right there, and you can see the winningest coaches in Oklahoma history. And think about it. Coach Switzer, Coach Wilkinson, Benny Owen. Bud Wilkinson.
That's pretty good company to be keeping. I'm telling you that.
You got to pitch yourself. Well, Alex Ross is coming back into the ball game. Let's see what he does after that unforced error, shall we say?
Yeah.
Bell's pass, high, caught. Beautiful reception by Neal. And that'll be close to the first down. Clock inside of 2:40 now.
Well, when you've had the success that Bob Stoops has had, you can recruit anybody. I mean, you can get in anybody's kitchen table and talk to the parents and the athlete, and he has got a bunch of football players. You can see, I mean, wholesale substitutions now. Actually bringing in the punt team, but wholesale substitutions on that second offense. And the backups, they're hungry to get more snaps.
Oh, yeah.
They want to show that they're worthy of snaps, and they're good football players. And it's a nice position to be in.
Only 3 BCS coaches have been at their schools longer than Bob Stoops. Frank Beamer, Tony Blankney at Troy, and, of course, Mac Brown at the University of Texas as the punt goes inside the 15, keeps rolling down to about the 13. Hey, Sooner fans, never miss another moment when you join Soonersports.tv, powered by Fox Sports. It's the ultimate access for the ultimate Sooner fans. Whether you want to watch it live, catch the game recap, or get the coach's perspective, Soonersports.tv has your key to the video vault. Sign up now and get 3 months absolutely free. Log on now to Soonersports.tv and enter the security code SOONERTV.
Do it sooner rather than later, too.
Oh, boy. It's about that time. Brayley Brown still back in at quarterback now for Louisiana Monroe, and they're going to try to just keep it on the ground and try to get some kind of run game going as the clock goes inside of 2 minutes.
Yeah, Ron, I want to tip my cap to a linebacker for Louisiana Monroe. I mean, defense has been on the field probably over 80 snaps. Cameron Blake's a career-high 16 tackles, 9 of them solo, 2 tackles for loss, and a sack. That kid played his tail off, and he has to be exhausted. I mean, he's going to sleep well on that plane ride home.
Well, you know, and he's the guy that was injured last year, came back and moved to middle linebacker, had to learn a whole new position, plus coming off the injury, and hats off to him. Final minute and 17. Brown will hand it off again, and Nathan Meadows Jr. Yeah, that'll take us in the 1 minute mark.
Yeah, and I think at this point in time, Todd Berry's in the same mindset. Let's just get out of here without any injury or exposing anybody else to any potential problem.
Well, they'll be home. They have their home opener on the 7th of September against Grambling State. That'll be at 6 p.m. But they still have to play Wake Forest, Baylor, Tulane. Old C.J. Johnson down at Tulane's got a pretty good football team this year. Then they start the Sun Belt schedule. But, you know, just talking to Coach Berry, I tell you what, very, very impressive. Understands what he's got. He's in his 4th year. As we mentioned, he played at Tulsa, worked under some great coaches like Steve Logan, John Cooper at Tulsa, Johnny Majors at Tennessee, and we just appreciate the time that Todd Berry and his entire staff had a chance to spend with us.
They were great, no question, and his philosophy is put a ball down. You know, no excuses. We'll play anyone, anytime, anywhere. And he came to Norman, Oklahoma. It didn't work out too well. Bob Stoops gets his 150th win, and heavy dose of respect right there. Bob Stoops couldn't say enough good things about Todd Berry and the kind of guy he is, as well as coach.
Well, Bob goes to 5-0 in August, 14-1 in home openers, 35-2 versus non-conference opponents at home. And Oklahoma gets their first win of the season, 34-0. They pitched the shutout. That's the first shutout for Oklahoma in an opening game since 1999.
That's Bob Stoops' first
year. Yep.
How about that?
And we've got a lot of defense, though, for Oklahoma. I'll tell you what, Dave, that really stood out, I think, especially in that first quarter and the second quarter when the offense was struggling.
The last 3 quarters, 57 yards. I mean, for the game, Louisiana Monroe, 109 total yards. Oh, my gosh. That's defense extraordinaire. Mike Stoops has to be proud. They're back.
You've got it. And standing by now, here's Trey Miller with our man on the spot.
Well, thank you, Ron. Trey Miller, you run for over 300 yards as a team. Pretty complete. How did you feel about the effort, though, offensively?
Good. We got off to a kind of slow start, but we, kind of settled in, especially in that second half, got a few points up. Defense did a great job putting us in some great field position, so we ended up getting some points on the board.
Trevor, in his first start as a redshirt freshman here before 85,000 people, throws for 3 touchdowns, becomes the first OU quarterback to run for over 100 yards in a dozen years. How did you feel about his performance?
He did a good job. Like I said, we all kind of started off slow, but he kind of settled in, kind of got rid of some of those nerves, and he had a great game.
You're going to go applaud the defense for pitching a shutout tonight as well?
Oh, definitely.
I got Dave's favorite guy down here. Anything Dave would like to say to Trey Millard other than "I love you"? I mean, it was a great all-around performance. Trey, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Send it back up to you guys.
Yeah, Chad, I have a man crush. No doubt about it. I'll admit it, man crush on Mr. Millard.
You just like physical ball players, we got to say.
I do. I mean, you know what? If you Google Millard, his picture comes popping up, or Google football player.
Yeah.
Up comes the picture of Trey Millard. Blue collar all the way.
Well, let's talk about the defense, though. Obviously, Trey did a great job, and I think we saw Trevor Knight start to mature as the game went on. But the defense forcing Louisiana Monroe to 10 punts.
Unbelievable effort. Bob Stoops has got a group of linebackers that can run. They'll come downhill, and they're physical enough to stop the run, but they're also gifted enough to drop back and cover people. Plus, he's got a bunch of blitzers. I mean, and Tapper is a defensive end, pressure off the edge. Stryker is an outstanding blitzer. He's got some good football players to work with.
Now, there were a lot of highlights when it came to the Oklahoma defense, and I think everybody contributed something tonight.
And Ron, when you pitch a shutout, everybody was in the right gap. There were very, very few assignment breakdowns. You know, two guys not in one gap and a gap being exposed. And there's effort. When you pitch a shutout, you finish plays, you gang tackle, you have a bunch of helmets around the football, and you punish people. You dole out physical contact, and they did it all night long.
Want to give a shout-out, though, to Corey Nelson, because here's a guy that last year was a little frustrated because of what they were playing defensively. Coaches talked to him. Mike Stoops talked to him. Tim Kish, linebacker coach, talked to him. They said, you've got to really take ownership in this defense tonight. 8 tackles, 2 tackles for a loss, and a sack.
Well, I do believe he has to be the catalyst if this defense is going to be as great as they hope to be. And he not only has to be a leader of the linebacker group, he has to be a leader of the defense and the entire football team. And he keeps playing like that. You lead by example, people will follow.
Well, it wasn't perfect, but it was a pretty good opening game for the Oklahoma Sooners as they were able to pitch the shutout tonight here in Norman, Oklahoma. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage. Final again, OU 34, Louisiana Monroe nothing. For Dave Lapham, Chad McKee, and our entire Fox Sports crew in Norman, Oklahoma, I'm Ron Thulin. Thanks so much for watching. Good night from Norman, and enjoy your holiday weekend.